Welcome to Kranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Kranky, and this is the Kranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Kranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out, subscribe now to the Kranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Kranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
5% energy. Let me know if you can hear me. Energy 876. I'm not talking about me late. I'm not late. I press the button at 4 o'clock. Talk to YouTube. I'm not late. I press it 4 o'clock. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you can hear me before I start running this thing out. Can you guys hear me? Because somehow something is wrong here. Let me see if my thing is up. It's not up and running. It says live. Okay. We're good. We're good. I think we're good. Let me know if you guys can hear me, by the way. Because I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. Yeah, and it's in the 68401. Let me guys know if you can hear me. Bless up, Triple E. Thanks for being here. 876 is here. Yadi Tov looked like he came here way early to express his perspective. Give me 1 second. Let me turn down this fan for a second. Give me 1 second. Can't do fun at ESC same time. So you guys can hear me. So I'm still here. And if you guys see me say I'm not here, people, a big news day today now. Nobody today. I come in peace. Today, people. I come in peace. I'm not in time for bad. Nobody. The last time I was on management program, it didn't go as well as desired. I got a lot of feedback, which I welcome. I got a lot of flack too. I got a lot of beating. It's all good. But no, I was. I waited other people come to the channel before me talk about certain things, but I decided to have what I call a special edition because I've talked about the fact that. I want to make my titles interesting. My nephew give me a hard time. You can talk about my nephew about the plainness of my titles. So I'm leveraging other things to help me have titles which going to be the theme of what I talk about, right? Bless up Conrad, Triple E. So I have to do, I have to do some of that. But it should be a good discussion. I'm looking forward to the discussion. I want to get your perspective and view. But I have my own little whole soliloquy that I have to run through first, as you all know, before I jump into questions. I'm going to make sure all my apparatus are set up. I turn my fan off. My fan turn back on by itself. Duppy, they also know. Duppy inside there. We just turn off the fan. That's why you see me move and close on the thing. Me turn it off again, people. I don't know what happened, It don't make no sense to me. We turn it off again. I have Duffy in the house or something. So me just turn it off and turn back off. Turn back on. So I don't know what I want people, but it should be off now. So bless up Float. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you guys take time out your Sunday to be here. We're gonna talk some football because I think I said this the other day when I talk about pivoting, and I'm actually serious about the pivoting. Yeah, we're being Duffy, pivoting in that I'm not going to talk about Jamaica football as much as I have in the past. I'm gonna broaden my horizon. EPL is almost starting. Olympics are coming up, which I'm big into. I'm gonna talk a lot about that. West Indies just lost today, collapsed as they normally do. I'm not talking about those today. Those tomorrow topics. But today, just exclusively about the under-20 situation. Get your perspective, provide my view. And I actually spent time sitting down and writing out some stuff. So I'm going to read out some of the things that I wrote. Because it's not a lot of top of my head, I as I said to people before, I do spend time thinking about these things. I do put pen to paper sometimes, and then I come have the dialogue, right? So it's not just me come on and try to wing it. I don't try to wing it actually. But and people may have 23, 25. I can't, but I wouldn't really like sticking. Come on, like and it's like phone prerogative. I just this afternoon I was having some discussion internally and decided, you know what, I should do this because I got a lot of feedback from people saying, look, you've talked a bit about this a little bit. You don't follow it as much, but we need your perspective on this. So I decided to come and do something because I listened to those of you who have all this at heart and are interested in the topic and want to get my perspective and my view. And so therefore I decided, you know what? And I did watch the game, by the way. So even though I don't really follow the under 20 as much, I did watch the game, the entire game. Yeah, hard to do, but I did. And I have some views that I want to express. I will also say that I just got the news that that Joe Biden decided to resign, or I wouldn't say resign, decide not to pursue the nomination for the presidency in 2025 because the election is in November. New president take office in January. And I was an advocate of that actually, so I can't be a hypocrite and say I wasn't. I was an advocate, and I'm gonna talk about that. So having said that, people, here's another announcement. May I drop my channel tomorrow? Where I talk about any and everything. There's no fanfare about the channel. I have no music with it. I have no big blow thing for it. Just a compound board on top, but enough things. And I thought it was appropriate to drop it tomorrow. I was thinking about doing it before I heard the news, but with Biden resigning, it just fits right into what I know. I'll have topics after topics after topics to talk about. We'll take research and ways of going about thinking through it and doing it, but it should be fun. It's called Uncensored Views. I already set it up, and I intend to do a live tomorrow. Don't know what time yet because I'm busy in the morning, but I'm intending to do a live tomorrow sometime. So I'm gonna probably do two things tomorrow. I'm gonna do my live. I may not. I'm not sure I'm gonna do Kranky live tomorrow, but I do want to because I have other things to talk about in sports. I may do the 6 to 8, but I haven't come up with a time stuff for uncensored videos. Or would I do it the frequency of it? So it may be a little more random, but I intend to drop one tomorrow because things hot, people. Things hot. You know how much things are going. Yemen I get bombed by Israel. Yemen I shoot drone upon Israel. The war in Ukraine. Biden, Kamala, Brogard and things like Jamaica. New government in England. As other something start. The lady who called the cops the other day and got killed. When she called the cops to come because she hear intruder, cop go there and shoot her and can't justify it. There's so much thing to talk about that it's going to be interesting to be in that space. I'm sure I'm going to get much more grief and much more criticism in that space because I have certain views, but it's all good. It's all good. So anyway, enough of that. Under 20. So here's my little soliloquy first, and then we can talk about this. You guys can call in. Make sure we drop the run the banner with the number, so people can call in when they so choose. Anyway, so the recent under 20 game between the U.S. and Jamaica, everyone should know by now we lost by. I'm happy fight. I have to say it to people. We lost the game. It was a big score. I'm a double digit. Bless up New Wave. It was a big score, people. It was a big score. I mean, the score's so big that you're embarrassed to even say it. But it was an under 20 CONCACAF championship. And the US dominated the match. They showcased their superiority. And they've been a champion for the last 3 under 20 in CONCACAF, so it's not surprising. But the manner of defeat was hard to digest. And look, it's going to be easy to point fingers and be accusatory in responding to what I call the debacle that transpired. But we need to do a thoughtful analysis of the whole thing, right? And talk about some background first and how we get to where we are and where we think we should go to. Yeah. I'll expect to be. So Jamaica's last appearance at under 20 World Cup was in 2001, which is a long absence from it, right? And in the build up to the tournament, there have been a lot of concerns around the narrative coming at the JFF relating to the squad selection, how it was derived, was the Jamaica's best team to participate in the tournament. And I'm just saying, as I go through these people, I'm going to jump into some of the comments. I'm going to go through this first, then we come to the comments. So, John Wall was the previous coach of the team, and I stated that the local players who comprised the majority of the team were not at the required level. And I interviewed John Wall on management program a while back, and I mean, let's be frank, John Wall is a very arrogant person. I must say that out loud. Or he came across to me as very arrogant, even condescending. So he wouldn't have been my choice. But the one thing he was right on, he basically said the players weren't at the right level. And he was looking for players outside Jamaica to comprise the most of his squad, actually. He won his first round games, then advanced to the tournament, the final round. But he was reassigned afterwards. The reason given that the JFF was that he was needed with the national team and he couldn't do both roles. And therefore, Jerome Waite was, who was a local coach, local development coach, was sent to the coach. Now, let me just say something about that. His reassignment. There's one thing to, I'm not sure why the JFF just believe that we're a bunch of idiots. We have no sense. We can't deduce things. We're not informed. So when you come out in John public and said you reassign somebody, what an affiliation with somebody that you have a confrontation with and you don't get along with, I was bringing in that person's players. When John Wall wants to bring in a lot of overseas-based players in the team and you disagree because you have a quota, and I'll talk about the quota, and then you're going to sell to the public the disingenuous comment about, oh, we reassigned him because you couldn't do two jobs at once, which I'd asked a question about, which is, what do you mean you can't do two jobs at once? What were you doing before when you were given the role? Didn't you know that this was going to come up as a possibility? And you got some crappy answer, basically. All right? No, Alj, there's no restriction on this. There's no restriction on players playing for both. A lot of countries do it. But a lot of countries actually, when they put you in the national team, you don't go under 20 already. Again, actually, most countries do that. They don't play you in both; they play you in one. The JFF indicated that it has a policy in place, though that policy doesn't seem to be in writing. That is a quota on the number of players at the junior level that is under 20 and below in the national team, and that number is 7. And it was also communicated that a coach has his prerogative to bring in more players. Well, no, suggest more players to some body. I guess it must be the technical committee or some body that we don't know what that body entails, who will then determine whether or not the rationale he provides or she provides is sufficient to justify number of players over the 7, right? And you hear me having very difficult discussion, I'm gonna call it, with whether it's members of the head of the technical committee or others around this whole quota system, right? And the fact that my view is that, so let me say this: the players selected for the final round of the tournament was mainly comprised of local players. There are a few overseas players. I may be wrong, but I think I saw 5 in it, and maybe more than 5. And there are concerns expressed by a lot of people across the Jamaica community that I know, at least in the YouTube space, about the composition of the squad, and did it give the country the best chance to win? And when the question was asked of the head of technical committee for JFF, he said he didn't know about the squad. It's amazing how we have memory problems when it comes to certain things, right? But we remember everything else. We are apprised of and know everything about everything until it comes to things we're not comfortable with. All of a sudden, I don't know. I'm not involved. I have no idea what's happening. So imagine how the memory just seems to dissipate and go away, and we forget. I should note this. I should note this. Although I did watch a game against the US, as I said before, I have not been really following the team as much because I've decided to boycott all of this because of the quota situation, right? I believe a quota system, which I vehemently disagree with, is divisive, it's prejudicial, it's discriminatory, and most importantly, it's illegal. It's contrary to Article 4 of the JFF's own constitution concerning discrimination. That article also talks about, some part in the Constitution mentioned that the Constitution has to be observed by JFF members and that there are penalties and disciplinary action if you don't observe it. Now, it's interesting we use the word observe in the Constitution. People don't use observe in the Constitution. They use adhere to. You have to adhere to the requirement, right? You have to do it. And normally say you must do certain things. People don't use no observe. You can't observe anything. Right now I'm observing CNN in front of me. You can observe anything. It doesn't obligate you, even though it goes on to say that if you don't subscribe or adhere to, or if you don't observe it, then you're subject to disciplinary action. So observe is a poor choice of word, but that's the Constitution in general. It's not the best written document. Chapter 4 of the Jamaica Constitution regarding freedom and fundamental rights of citizens also talks about this whole thing, which is you're a citizen, you're entitled to all rights and privileges afforded citizens of that country, right? FIFA also have laws as it relates to the human rights concerning this. I'm not a lawyer, people. I'm just telling you what I've gone up research and read. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not tell you I'm a lawyer saying all these things. These are facts. These are not supposition. These are not speculation. These are things that I've read, looked through, assessed, and then come and provide it to you. So what they're doing, as I said the other day, management program, when the chair was there, is that what they're doing is wrong, is inappropriate, and it's illegal. And I'm not sure why the Jamaica government isn't taking this up, even though FIFA will give you a heart, make it difficult for you if you get into domestic football business. But it's illegal. You can't be doing illegal stuff in the country. Why isn't the head of the, what do you call that lady who is head of prosecution in Jamaica? Why is she taking up this case? Why is she saying that it's inappropriate? Because you know why? A lot of people in Jamaica, like the Chris Williams of the world, the Stewart from Harvard Reviewers of the world, are in accordance with this. They're in alignment with this. In fact, as he said, as the technical director said in the program, his stakeholders, and some of these people are his stakeholders, don't want one overseas-born player in the team, which then suggests that you're bifurcating your citizenship into two separate groups. One which is around locally born, and one which is overseas born, when your constitution is saying otherwise, which is inappropriate. Now, if you analyze the game that transpired, there are a number of things that jump out to you. Inadequate preparation. They got there a day before the game, right? While the U.S. was there long before. I think I've heard that U.S. was there a week or 2 weeks before the game preparing. So it was not the best situation for those kids in high altitude. Now, the philosophy is around Mexico is you either go there and leave quickly, or you go there and stay for a while to get acclimation. And the U.S. is going there early. I'm not sure why you're not going early. In terms of fitness level and technical ability, it's night and day. What we actually did was we sent a high school team to play against pros, which cannot be okay, people. A high school team against pros cannot be okay. There was one stat. I don't want to call out players per se. First of all, people, the kids tried hard. Let me just say this. Kids tried hard. They played hard. They played their hearts out. And it's not their fault. They were just overmatched. And we'll go to blame later on in this discussion, but it's not the kids' fault. They play their hardest. They make a ton of mistakes, but they weren't helped by the people, the adults. It's in the administration or the coaching staff. They weren't helped at all. In fact, to the contrary, they made it worse. Tactics and strategy. The game strategy was ineffective. The strategy employed by the coaching staff was not suitable for countering the U.S.'s strengths. And there was like an organization on the field. Let me give you an example, people. So there's a lot of tactical errors, mistakes in position and decision-making by the kids during the game. They play without a structure, and then some players were like pressing while others were just sitting deep. But here's the main problem, people. I'll give you an example during the game. So in the game, Jamaica is down like 2-0 in the first 6 minutes. In the 20s, I think it's 26 or 28 minutes, the coach made two offensive changes. They got no instructions to stop the bleeding. They need a tourniquet, and they just opened the wound wider to stop the bleeding. So instead of the coach saying, you know what, hey, this is not going well, let's restructure. Maybe they put another defender and play 5 at the back I mean, to change the formation of the team because we're bleeding goals. We have to stop it. Let's do a more low block, and maybe we can try to counter since the people in Jamaica always think that the technical director in JFF, I was thinking that counter is what we do because we're quick. Maybe we try to play deep. We have a low block because this is not working. When we spread out, the US just pass the ball to us if we're not there. And by the way, if you look at the US team, they're all pros. They're Portugal, Frankfurt. They play for Atlanta. They play for Cincinnati. They're all pros. And we have most of our kids, a bunch of high school kids. 9 on day. Right? Yes. Eager Republic Vice President. No, sir. Me stay away from politics. I'm going to talk with the politics. We're not going to politics. Me. No. We're not doing the politics thing. I like my life. Nobody come shoot me. Even though some of the things you do in life, you can get shot for more than just politics. So nobody come shoot me. Look, the kids made individual errors, but the kids had no direction, no guidance. So what we did was the coach made a lot of changes. The coach made a lot of reactive changes. No time to the game did I hear him say, okay, guys, settle down. Let's restructure. Let's redo this. Let's change the formation. Let's play somebody in a different situation and position. Let's shore this up. None of that. All they do was throw on more players. Go do the same old thing. Goals, you're leaking goals, you do the same, you repeat the same thing. If you repeat the same thing and it's failed, then you're going to fail. The coach didn't help at all. The coach on the sideline looked like they were just nervous and confused. Nobody had the time to sit back, step back, settle, and say, you know what? Okay, guys, let's stop the bleeding because we're still in the competition. The more goals we bleed, the more difficult it becomes. Let's stop the goals because we're not making any inroads progressive-wise. When they press, it was a 3-man press or a 2-man press. Kids making mistakes all over the place. No guidance, no communication, no engagement, nothing. Just poor game management. Awful game management. Awful setup. Awful logistic. Awful game management. It's hard to watch. It's difficult to watch. Even the substitution was bad. The structure was bad. It was difficult to watch. And I was watching it. What does that mean, best as above earth? I don't know what it means. Because I did not know what to do, which I don't even blame because if you don't know what to do, what can you do? Oh, we're going to get to that. Now, here's the sweetest part of all of this. I'm sorry, I call it sweet. It's fan reaction. And by the way, people, I pulled up the fan reaction from Google. Now, listen again, I say, people, I didn't come up with this. I didn't look at YouTube videos, get it. Because I did look up some people on YouTube. But I want to see what Google had about fan reaction. So, you know what? What was the fan reaction to the Jamaica Reggae Boys game? So here's what Google says. Shock and humiliation. The loss is described as humiliating, indicating that Jamaican fans were deeply disappointed and embarrassed by the scoreline. Anger and finger pointing, and we're good at that. The video mentioned that fingers are being pointed in all directions, suggesting that fans are looking for someone to blame for this disastrous performance, which is what Kranky is doing, because that's what his thumbnail says, who's to blame. Calls for change. There are discussions about what needs to be changed in Jamaica youth football, indicating that fans are demanding reforms in the wake of this defeat. Questioning player selection. Some fans are debating the merits of using local players versus overseas players, with comments like, got your chance? No. Suggesting frustration with the current selection policy. Hey, I'm afraid that, I'm Googling the people. Afraid of anything, I know. Because it's so on point. Criticism of preparation. Fans are highlighting issues with the team's preparation, with one commenting stating the biggest issue is the preparation. No, it's not. It's not the preparation for the game. It's the preparation of the players from the day they started playing football till now. Disappointment in leadership. There are calls for changes in the football administration, with fans mentioning specific officials like Mr. Rudolph Speed and criticizing the Jamaica Football Federation. And last is the number 7, emotional responses. The video describes fiery debates and passionate reactions, indicating that fans are, this is important, emotionally invested and vocal about their disappointment. Right? I think that's important. So what this is saying that fans care. That's as simple as what it's saying. The fans give a hoot. Unlike some people in the administration, it appears, who don't really care, only care about themselves. So yeah, somebody sent me something that did I copy somebody's thumbnail? I didn't even know because I didn't watch some of the program, so I just do things off my own accord. The thumbnail is natural. People say, "Who's to blame?" Because of the debacle, it was 9-0. But I just got a message. Somebody had a thumbnail yesterday, which I actually didn't know because I didn't watch. But I don't really care. It's my thumbnail. That's the only thumbnail I have. So it's interesting in terms of the blaming debacle. Look, accountability resides with the JFF. They pick the coaching and the JFF and the coaching staff, but frankly, the JFF because the JFF pick the coaching staff. They oversee. They're the ones who have the quota. They oversee the whole process. They need to make sure the players have the right facilities. They get there in a good amount of time. We bring players in. Look, I've had a lot of communications with people over the last, since John Wall took charge about this under-20 team. And that there were 10 people, and there's been back and forth about this, don't know who's right or wrong. We get comments from the JFF basically saying they request players being released by the club and they're not going to get released. We get comments saying people don't have papers. I was told that there's 10 people, very good players, who have their papers and who were not pursued, right? And we know there's a quota system. And if you pursue those 10 players, you can't play the 10 plus the 5 that brought in, that's 15. That's exceeded 7. That exceeds the 7. If you only have a quota of a 7 and you got to justify more than a 7, and Jerome Waite is the coach, and Jerome is a local coach who has to adhere to what the JFF says, you don't have much choice. So I was told a while that John Wall was livid, basically, about the inability of him to pick whatever team he wants, even though he was the coach. He wanted to get information about players who fit the criteria he's looking for, and he got them, and that he was basically told, no, he can't do it. And then you have the JFF denying that this is the case. And then they reassign him, as they call it. You know, JFF don't fire anybody, right? When else have you heard the JFF fire anybody? They didn't fire Donaldson. They didn't fire Hugginson. They didn't fire John Wall. They don't fire people. Either they resign, or the contract was not renewed, or they got reassigned because they're cute with their language. They're very cute with their language. Now, they didn't fire Hugginson. That's a fair point. But they didn't. Donaldson wanted to re-up. They didn't re-up him. Got fired. That's how they operate. They are cute with their language. We're all idiots. We have no sense. We can't deduce things. And therefore, they can roll things over our eyes. And you know what? We can't. And they have the arrogance basically to say, we can't get away. We can get away because you can't do anything about it. We've been elected by a process which we manipulate, which we manage, we manipulate, we control, and we're going to be here for as long as we want to be. Because when there's voting in JFF, it's the right hand voting it's the right hand and left hand voting against each other, the same body. So we don't have much of a choice, right? We don't have much of a choice. And so therefore they can do whatever they want to do. And we don't have a choice, but we love the football. So we're going to support the football. We don't have a choice. Now, the question is, where do we go from here? Yep. Or they just don't renew their contract. They didn't fire Donaldson. They didn't renew his contract. So you can call it not fired. I guess the concept of fired. Look, we're talking about the substance of something, not the form. We're talking about the substance. So the substance, one could say, yep, they didn't fire him. But if you didn't renew his contract and he wanted to renew the contract, it's basically the same thing to me. You can play with the words all you want, right? They reassigned John Wall. I heard recently John Wall got let go. I'm not sure how true it is because it came from a source, which I'm not sure about. But they reassigned John Wall. And in my view, the rationale they provide doesn't fly with anybody who have any sense. So people. You see this question of people? And that's part of the problem I have with some of you guys who are in these forums. Now, your question is, how much blame does your friend Speed have in this, Mr. Kranky? First of all, Rudolph has been good to come on my platform periodically. I'm surprised sometimes he comes, given some of the things I say in the public domain about the JFF, but he comes and he takes the question I provide to him, which I appreciate. But Rudolph and I are not, he will tell you this, we're not friends. We'll communicate periodically if I ask him to come on. When we communicate with Rudolph, it is, can you come on, yeah or nay, right? I'm respectful of him. I hope it's reciprocal. But what you're insinuating here is that he and I are friends and we can't cock up all these things. That's nonsense. I don't have any friends in the JFF. But you have to be, but I keep telling you people, You have to be civil to people. Now, Rudolph, as part of the JFF, is as blameful as everybody's in JFF. Maybe even more so, given the influence he has. And now he may tell you that I'm not involved in the under 20, blah, blah, blah. No, Rudolph, you own this. We ain't giving you no pass. You own this. You ain't getting no pass. You own this. You have a lot of control in JFF. You, Ricketts, Chung, you all own this. And you embarrass us. Like ridiculously embarrass the country. Embarrass the brand. CNN is rerunning the under 20 thing with us getting 9 love. You embarrass the country. You embarrass the football. You embarrass the players. And you ask the question again, do some players who can come to the national team, do they say, you know what I just get involved in? These people are a problem. Whether it's the Women's World Cup, whether it's the men's team a few years ago, whether it's Hogginson, it's thing after thing after thing after thing. And you know what? You know what, people? You know what, interesting people? We can replace the players. You can not engage with sponsors. Fans may not turn up at game. Venues may not be great. The one consistent thing we have in all of this, the only consistent thing, is the JFF and their personnel. That's the only consistent thing. The JFF and the personnel are the only consistent thing, people. And it's not good. The team has done well despite the JFF, not because of the JFF. Now, the president may go out and espouse the view about how great things have been under his administration. That's true. Making Nations League semifinal, making Copa, even though we didn't win any game, making second round of the Women's World Cup. For any administration, you should be sitting back, beating your chest and say, look what I've done. And yet we have the opposite view. We have the opposite view. We don't sit here praising the JFF. We just like, these are, I don't even want to say the name that's coming to my mind. I'll leave it alone. But the JFF don't realize that they're the ones who need changing. It ain't the play. Look, those young players, I hope they're not scarred from this. I think they'll recover. They're young. Things happen in football. 9-11 is difficult to digest, though, at a certain level when you're playing for a national team. Look, there's a misconception that I only want overseas players to play the national team, right? And I've said from day, just like the misconception about me and Rudolph being friends and therefore I don't get hard. Somebody said the other day, you don't ask Rudolph any difficult question. I'm not here to beat Rudolph. I'm here for Rudolph to provide information to the public that I want to consume and that you should be consuming that can help us get some idea what's happening in the JFF and what's happening in the football. I'm not here to beat anybody, period, but it's Rudolph or anybody else. It's about information gathering and dissemination that allow us to be much more informed. It ain't about beating anybody. So if you expect me to come on my channel, come beat people, I'm not beating anybody. That's one of the reasons I'm moving away from Jamaica football now. I can't take the nonsense. There's a bigger world out there. I can't take the nonsense with the beating thing and you're a friend with this and everything in Jamaica gotta be about nepotism and who you know and who don't know. I struggle to get people on my channel to come be interviewed. I tell the truth. And I understand why. I can live with that. I met somebody the other day, I text them, they just ghost me. And I was like, okay. Because I probably wouldn't come on my channel either. Because I'm gonna ask the question I think that should be asked. So yeah, but I don't know if the man's dishonest or not. I'm not calling anybody dishonest because I don't have that. But things are said. Here's an example, people. Dennis Strong will come in the environment and say something, and Rudolph will say something, and they're night and day. They don't align about the same topic. That cannot be okay, JFF. It cannot be okay. It cannot be okay for you to get your act together. And every time we think that you've turned the corner, you take 2 steps backwards. So Igor probably said, Kranky, I believe that Wendell Downs was the biggest Teflon done in history. As the TD of the football, this dude is responsible for craft and direction. We don't have no technical director. Let me just say that plain, people. We don't have no technical director of the football. There's no such thing. Rudolph and I were arguing the other day about the style of play, and Rudolph gonna tell me about I'm half wrong and not. You see people, me I get frustrated. Me can't take nonsense, It's like something is black, and you see black, and somebody tells you, no, you know what? Black in your eyesight have mixed with you need glasses, it's half green, or you're colorblind. No, I know it black. You can't convince me otherwise. It's like we're arguing about Spain the other day, about what does Spain football produce and the amount of production. And he's saying first he said they had won anything since 2010, which was not the case. They won 2023 World Cup. They won 2012 Euro. But then he's going to say they won one out of, and only have won one title in 12 years. In fact, it's 2 titles because the women's team's won. But for the men's team, 12 years, people, you play every 4 years. No 1 in 3 that. Those are the kind of things where I can't manage in the public domain. I can't help myself. I put you up on the spot because you deserve to go on the spot when you say these things. Because I know you're smarter than that. I know you know better. So if you come here and say that, I'm going to call you out. And I have no reservations about doing that. Now, would Rudolph come back on my program? I have no idea. But it's what life is. I'm going to call it like I see it. And let the chips fall where they may. I'm not coming here to make enemies. I'm coming here to do what I think is important. I pride myself on having integrity. I pride myself on being honest. I pride myself on having principles. And I'm going to exhibit them. That's how I live my life. I'm not change for nobody. I'm not care. Not change for nobody. Can't change. That's what I have to do. That. I'm going to promote this again, people. My Uncensored View channel, Uncensored Views. I'm going to drop tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to live or doing a video. But when it drops, I want to subscribe to the channel because we'll talk about enough things. And they say, I'll get beaten on criticism because we have some interesting views on the people. So we see that work out. One is saying, Arsenal were not competing and refusing to spend money, so I canceled my season tickets and stopped buying shirts. So I was spending and I tried to compete, so I did too. Yeah, look. I don't think we heard the JFF enough. People, we got to be very careful about that. With a private, money-oriented organization versus a quasi non-for-profit organization which don't really care about no fans. Come on, the JFF care about no fans. They talk a good game, but they don't care about the fans. They care about fans. They would replace some people in the organization and do better. They would get competent people to run the organization and do better. They don't care about no fans. Because I know that I make money. Them get Adidas money. Them get World Cup money for the girls. Them get Nation League money. Then get money from Gold Cup. They don't care. They can pay them bills. They say, my buy coach you $500,000 a year. Them not worry about money. Them probably PF Schaefer. The 2023 financial statements were ugly though, because I saw them. I don't know what 2024 looked like, but I saw the 2023 financial statements. I read them a couple of days ago. They were ugly looking, weren't pretty. So yeah. They were ugly, not pretty. Thanks, Hamza. Appreciate that. Ugly financial statements. So we'll see what, and 2024 will not be. By the way, I'm a little bit surprised that 2023 are out because when we spoke to Chang, he inferred that they're going to be issued like a year subsequent to when the year concludes. So I expect them to be issued end of this year, and they already issued. So I'm not sure what that's about. But one day I may walk you guys through the financial statements, even though I see that 876 has now come out and see you can't publish this on the website, you can't publish that on the website. Whatever 8766. No, not try though. And I try to muzzle the people on YouTube or bring the people them information. I'm not saying some YouTubers are not irresponsible in terms of what they say and how they say it and how they do it, but try to stop muzzle information. No control information, 876. That's not a good thing. You guys should be trying to find ways to get YouTubers more information that's accurate to provide to the people versus trying to close them down. That's not good. People can call into the number right now. It's 347-728-8625. Let me know your perspective on what transpired with the under 20, who you think is to blame. I have a list here of things we need to do going forward, but I didn't go through that list. I think the first thing they should do is, because they have a game tomorrow, I hope they have conducted a review of the match. let me stop that. I have to laugh at myself saying this. So I write some nice thing here, people. I said, I wrote something yesterday. They should conduct a review of the match to identify specific areas of weakness. I take that back. Then if you go lower block, because there was weakness everywhere. And if you go lower block and play a counter, then if you try to match nobody step for step and stride for stride. You can't evaluate individual players' performance when you get 9 love. I don't know where you evaluate. Everybody just bad. Everybody bad. The only player on the field who would walk away without any semblance of that, you know what, I did okay, was the kid number 8. I think his name is Welsh. From Leighton Orient. People Leighton Orient. We don't talk about nobody from Chelsea, you know. We don't talk about nobody from Man U, you know. We don't talk about nobody from Arsenal, you know. Kid is from Leighton Orient. He's in the UK. Right? He looked like he came to play. Even though it was terrible, and he didn't have the best game, but he had a decent game. He's the only player on the field I said, well, halfway decent in terms of the competition. I'm sure some of the kids were shell-shocked. But that was the only team, actually. That was the only play, I should say. So I don't know how you pick up these players after that game. Actually, I don't know how it's hard to do, especially when these players are in the environment they come from. They deem to be very good players who have done well. Some of them play in the JPL, and I've seen them play. But for Ardent Gardens or Cavaliers, so they play at a decent level. They may have played against, I'm sure if you're playing for Cavaliers and you play in JPL, you play against like the Cincinnati of the world. It's interesting that the passing accuracy for Cavaliers against Cincinnati and the passing accuracy for Jamaica against the US was probably similar, about 70%. I think the US was about 90 or somewhere around there. So it's interesting that you look at the stats between what Jamaica or Cavaliers play in Cincinnati, Jamaica played the US, it wasn't materially different. So I thought that was interesting. So Boston is saying the man was shaking his head for most of the game with all the mistakes made by his teammates. Yeah, I know he was shaking his head, and I think he was frustrated. But his teammates tried. As I said at the outset of this, I don't blame the kids. The kids cannot be faulted. They did play hard. At some point, I thought they were going to lose it and start fighting, which is not a good approach. So I'm glad they didn't. But they don't control the situation. They don't control. Look, the biggest problem Jamaica has, the two biggest problems Jamaica have. Well, no. The biggest problem Jamaica have is the JFF. Jamaica football is the JFF. Period. Not debatable. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Kranky Live. Who's to blame? Yes.
Yeah. Well, I should say that the JFF administration.
By the way, who am I speaking to? Who am I speaking to?
Up and running.
Up and running people. Well, the team was up and running the other night, but go ahead. The team wasn't up and running.
No,
they were running. They're running without sense. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What people don't understand, as we go along, we learn about football. Some of us thought that we know the game, but as we evaluate and open our brain a little bit and so the knowledge of the game, we understand that preparation doesn't start in 2 years, in 1 year. Preparation starts from the player was introduced to the sport.
Yep.
And the way they do it in Jamaica, the way we do it here in Jamaica is that majority, not saying some coach doesn't do it properly, but majority, when the players introduced to the sport at U-12, the principal and the community in the school pressured the kids about winning, and winning become the all focus. Anybody can say, go to local Jamaica and rural Jamaica, and you will see where the under 12 is played in sports under 12 Premier League. The coaches focus on winning the game. There's no focus on development. It's all about kick the ball out of my life, up the field. There's no playoff controlling, passing, majority of the time. Maybe Kingston and St. Andrew, maybe Clarendon have a different, but if you go the other 12 parish or 10 parish, it's all about winning. So by the time of U12, U14, the kids don't know the game. They enjoy the game, but they don't know the basic fundamental of the game, where they should be, where they should not be. And there's no coach teaching that in majority of the time. So that's preparation, and everybody else is doing it. Except Jamaica. Jamaica think that, okay, big, fast, and strong, and it's like athletics. It's not. The sport is not. It's not all about athleticism in the sport. It's about knowing where to be, comfortable on the ball, a little, even after some what. And we're not doing it in Jamaica. We're not doing that. Majority coaches are PE coaches that in the schools are not doing that. And then people are going to say the school is not responsible, but that's where we get most of it. That's where the people are getting the truth of the sport.
Right. No, I mean, you're right about where the process starts, which is when you start kicking a football, as to who your coaches are, what's the competence of those coaches. Can the coach teach you the fundamentals the right way so you can apply them as you go up the ladder? And look, when I last talked to Rudolph or interviewed Rudolph, he did mention that they're trying to improve the coaching across the board, and that they have some short-term, I won't say in my words, medium-term and long-term and short-term plans, such as the coaching situation, because I think coaching is one of the biggest obstacles for the football and needs to improve. If you go to the UEFA website and look what they're doing in Europe, for example, they have criteria, right? You can't coach players who are under 18, so between say 16 and 18 unless you have an A license. You can't coach at the top leagues unless you have a pro license. You can't coach under 16 unless you have a B license, right? They have criteria for each level, and you have to achieve that criteria to coach. Doesn't mean because you got your degree, that means you're a great coach. But at least you have learned the theory, and then you got to go apply the practical. And there's a view in Jamaica to me for some people, which is, I played football, I learned football, so therefore I know how to coach. And if you go through the courses and then you see what you learn versus what you've done historically, you probably see that there's a lot of gaps and room for improvement, which you can then undertake. So, yeah, not disagreeing with what you're saying.
And a small solution, another a way that can help, which not going to cost no money, it's free. It's to take out results out of all across Jamaica U-14, U-12 football. Take out the results. I mean, nobody's under pressure to win a game for winning sake. Take out the results. Then the coach now would have a little more room and to wiggle. So, okay, I don't have to win a tournament. I don't have to win the 10th hand primary league. I can teach. I can, the player can get a little more breathing space. It's not, the ball is in, they have to woof it upfield, and then that's the culture. To develop that culture, and it's hard to break.
So, Carla, someone is saying here, Brian Mighty is saying, Carla, coaches are not judged by how many players they develop. They get jobs and are paid by winning tournaments. If coaching is how they feed their family, I think what they're saying, then what should they do? So
I understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But PE coaches they're not coaches. Most PE coaches in the primary school across Jamaica up to U-14, they're PE. They're
Right.
PE coach. They're employed by the school. Yeah, they go with maybe GC Foster and got their degree. They're PE, they're physical education coach. Most of the school are using physical education. Majority. People will maybe see the Money Cup school and believe that all schools are using these coaches from outside, but majority schools in primary and U-14 football are using PE coach. But because the principal and this community is pressuring for winning, it's all about winning. That's one of the major issue, winning.
But Carla, here's a question for you, Carla. Suppose one employed a strategy that the JFF said they're undertaking, which is this. They want to make sure they bring the coaching to the masses and make sure you get accredited before you can coach at any level. Would that work and negate the need not to win?
As long as the coach is under pressure from his principal and the community, not to play good, not to have players develop or play the game properly. I've been to the game now, Kranky, so I know what I'm talking about. I've been to the game. The player will kick the ball from his half to the strike, and they have maybe one or two good players up front, and that's all the focus is, just to get the ball in the opponent half and try to score. There's no, I just see it, if you watch the JPL team play, if you watch any league team play, that's how most of it plays. It's always a hurry to get the ball up to the other side of the field, regardless if it's your structure or not.
Right,
it's always a hurry.
So are you saying there? So here's what I'm trying to understand what you're saying. Are you saying that there is the ability to play good, attractive football and ball position is contrary to winning? Because here's the thing. Yes, you get the ball up field quicker and to the destination you're trying to go to, which is the score, if you kick the ball long. But the probability or possibility of you getting that ball is diminished the further the ball goes upfield. If you can, the shorter the passes are, if you can do it really well, give you more ball security, and you can achieve the same goal in a slower time period, and also achieve the objective of tiring the opponent out or getting the opponent out of position. So it's not mutually exclusive to say if I play good football, I'm not going to win. Because if you adapt and train and develop people on the key fundamentals of the game and they learn them really well and they learn how to make good decisions and understand how to apply what they have learned, you could still win.
Yeah, the football is like a chess game, and there's moments in the game. There's a time you press the trick. There's a time. Every team not gonna play like Spain or the old time Brazil, but
right.
You can't. Is that? I don't think feasible for you to play at 90 miles an hour for 90 minutes. You're gonna tire yourself, and that's what with all of our team. And then when we get a team that any team that comes to, if you look at Robin Hood who beat Cavalier, if you look at Cincinnati that beat Cavalier, or any team that beat Cavalier, they have a time when they keep the ball for a few times to rest. You have to rest in the game. You can't play at 90 minutes. Your wing back is the one that making the final pass all the time. All of you can't do it. You can't. That's not sustainable. To rush the game, to keep rushing the game, and then you can't keep it. Then your opponent have the ball and it comes back at you. You have to defend. You're always defending. You don't know. It's like you don't know to keep the ball to rest. You have to rest in the game too.
Right. Yeah, and if you notice the other night, the U.S. rest on offense the other night because U.S. pressed in that game. That's what the kids struggle with. Also, I'm not sure if in practice they create scenarios with where the opposition is pressing them full force press, and they therefore have to make quick decisions because when the U.S. pressed them, they struggled.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's a way. It's a free way. What I think about is a free way. Nobody is gonna pay for it. You're not gonna pay for a course. Just take out the result of U14 now, up to U14. Take out the result. They will still score goals, but they won't count it like, hey, this is the champion of. They can have another way of, okay, this team is playing good. They have another way of assessing the winners or give everybody a trophy. I don't know what to do. But try to take out the result because we're very competitive people and we are competing so much from a young age. It's like we're not giving ourselves a chance to develop.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think that we're gonna take results. I can't say that. Not for as competitive people as we are, and not where outcome determines how you get paid or how much you get paid. I don't think that's happening. But I do think there's a possibility out there for us to revisit how we do all this. Because we benchmark ourselves against teams like the US, right? They're the top of the region. That's your benchmark. And when you get 9, it shows you're not in the same zip code. You're not in the same location. You're night and day. These are men against boys at the under 20 level. That's not a good look because if the objective, as I've been here espoused by certain members of Jamaica community, is to just have local players in the team, you will never, ever be able to get to the point unless you change materially what you're doing and how you're doing it to compete with these teams. Because the U.S. is only getting better, people. They ain't getting no work. They only getting better.
I don't think the U.S. is halfway yet the way they're going to be good. I don't think they're halfway yet.
Yeah.
I don't think they reach 50% of what they can be yet. Because they have an issue. They have an issue there also with the pay to play, and the better players in America are from the poor community. You're not seeing them yet. They're not popping up yet in maybe another 10 years when the system change.
And by the way, people, the under 20 team had non-US born players in the team for the US. The US have 300 million people. They have tons of kids here to choose from. They had non-US born players in the team who are citizens. Because what the U.S. does is just care about the best player. They don't have stake. Yeah. Go ahead.
So it's gonna be a challenge, and we are good. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say about our football because I can't see, man. We have less club now than 10 years ago. Waterhouse was the last club in Jamaica to have a good result in Central America. Waterhouse in 2019, before the pandemic. They beat Toro of Panama home and away. And the Panamanian was very upset, and I think the Panamanian take a cue from that. And I don't think no Jamaican club can beat any Panamanian club anymore. I can't see that happening right now. They spend a lot of money in their league, and they're gone. You see the Panamanian players, they're homegrown, and they're in the very good condition. If you get a JPL player and you put him in he's not in the condition. He's not. You don't have the muscles. You don't have the development. We lack so much, man. We're regressing. We're regressing. We're not staying even on the same level we was in say 2005, 2006. We have gone back. So I don't know. I mean, we have a long way to go.
Totally agree. Well, Carla, the 9-love. I'm not sure how long we have to go, but 9-0 suggests that. Boy, I can't see the end of the. I can't see anything. It's like being in the universe. There is no end. It's infinite. There is no end in sight. There is no.
I think they can. I think if they can get in the players' head. I mean, they're not bad players, but they just lack development. If they can fight and bustle against the two other teams, they can get good results. Like they can get a 1-0 or 2-1, 2-1 victory.
Yeah.
Over Cuba, Costa Rica. It's possible.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's possible, but
we'll see.
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be. You have to fight because you don't have the technical ability. So you have to use it like a Steve Shorty Malcolm will do back in the days. He's not very technical, but use his work rate. Jimmy Adams wasn't the best batsman, but he used his work rate and his hard work.
Right.
I think that's what lacks in our player right now. They don't have that hard work. They're not running on the field. They're not fit. I don't know who prepared these players. They're not fit enough either.
But is it true that they're not running? I thought the kids were running. I thought they were just technically challenged. I didn't view it as running. I watched the game. The kids played hard. But when you watch the game, they're always out of position. I remember the one corner that was scored where the ball dropped between it got to be 5 Jamaican players standing there. And the ball actually fell. It didn't get hit. It got fell there. And someone was able to kick the ball on the goal. Though somebody got to attack the ball, right? That makes no sense. That's on the kids, frankly, as far as I'm concerned. You can't have 5 people there and nobody goes after the ball. They all stand up watching each other, right? That's them need to make a decision because you can only give them guidance to go on the field. Having said that, I'm not sure how much guidance they got to go on the field. So yeah.
Well, no, we're not. I mean, for me personally, I think we should aim to the level of a Costa Rica first before even speaking of United States or Canada in terms of local development football. Look, somebody should go to Costa Rica and observe what they're doing because we are similar in terms of GDP. They're a little bit better than us. And they're not a rich country. They're not a big country. They're not overly populated. And if they can qualify for 3 World Cups and can maintain themselves with homegrown player, for all the people who's talking this homegrown, they're the one they should focus. Like Mr. Williams, we should go look what they've been doing in Costa Rica, take it as a template and start there because we're way behind them. They're 3rd. Their league is 4th in CONCACAF. We are 10th. So if you want to move the JPL somewhere, try to move it to 5th.
Well, so let me play devil's advocate. I don't disagree with you, by the way. I think we sometimes are benchmarking against the top teams in the world when we have to come to a certain level and then work from there. But here's a question for you, though. You don't hear Costa Rica in any other sport. So that means they live, breathe, and drink football. We as Jamaica are involved in a bunch of other stuff. We want to do bobsledding. We want to do hockey. We want to do everything. So how do you get that level of focus and commitment when you're trying to juggle a lot of balls or do a lot of different things, which then pull your athletes and attention away from any one thing, which is all Costa Rica does?
But that's their job. That's Mr. Williams' job. That's the JFF job. That's what they should focus on. That's their job. That's what they can say. That's their mandate.
Right.
The people at Kemana Spark, that their mandate is to get the horse up to the quality of who they're competing in the Caribbean Classic. When every year, every December, the Caribbean Classic comes up, the Jamaican horse have to go to Trinidad or to the Barbados, and they have to compete. So they have to get that horse up to that level.
Right.
We claim, we say we have talent, we talk. In the athletics, Stephen Francis and those guys, they didn't talk. They know the herb and Lance Langs and those guys in the 40s was in Jamaica doing it. So they have an idea. They know that we can do it from home with the good weather. We have the good weather in Jamaica maybe 3 to 5 days of the year. So the JFF have to have a mandate. That's their job, regardless if they have not, other sports. They have to focus on their sport and to grow their sport. That's their job.
Right.
And that's their job to carry over. The JPL has to be carried.
Yeah.
Because that's what they focus on. Mr. Williams, he's saying that, okay, I'm not okay, I agree with development, of course. But you can't stay at 10 and you're talking about development the next 3 years. You have to win the CFU. We lost the CFU to Robin Hood. We lost it to the Haitian team that wasn't playing in the league for 2 years. And yet we're talking about talent for Jamaica. We are the talent. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the talent that the people are talking about. Yeah, a guy have a attribute to play football, like
right.
Because we are athletic. You have the attribute. But what talent are they talking about? You have attributes because we are athletic people. We are athletic people. So we're gonna look some kind of way all the time.
Yeah.
But do you go across the next threshold? So somebody to come and see you and say, I pay $1 million for that guy. I pay $1 million to pay my team. We are the people coming down here in droves to seek out our players and say, hey, he's a raw talent. I need him. I can develop him. I'm not seeing it coming in, not even 2 every year. I don't see 2 Jamaicans leaving here and the club is getting real money. We're not seeing that. So I don't know what the talent you're talking about. It sounds good to say it, but we're not seeing it like the athletics. We've seen it. We've seen it in cricket. People are coming here and trying to get to a place to play in the IPL. It's there. A guy at a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old can look. Hey, Chris Gale is Wave Lines. This guy. Where is the football player that's in Jamaica? I was from the Leon Bailey that Ethan came to. Leon Bailey didn't play Manning Cup. He didn't go to the regular system. He went away with his dad at a young age. Whisper was the only guy, and he didn't break any ceiling yet. He's still playing U20, U18 football. He's a young man still. Yeah, that's a little mark you can start with, but if you can be say it was one in Omen.
Yeah, no, fully understand, caller. Fully understand. Appreciate the call.
So thank you, man.
All right, thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right, people, interesting conversation. The theme of that is we should consider revisiting how we develop footballers, not just focus on outcomes, but focus on the kids themselves and their ability. It's a consideration and a thought process, which has been out there in some respects. I think the U.S. used to do this at one point. The U.S. have changed. When I first came to this country, there was a lot in the U.S. They didn't focus on. When I first came to this country playing football and being around people who play football, it was about everybody has to play. And then it was less about outcome. But after a while, like everybody else, they got to the outcome. So, yeah. I don't think Jamaica would ever go to not having outcomes. And as Brian said, look, that's how you get judged, then you get paid. Good afternoon. Kranky Live. Who am I speaking to? Hello? Hello?
Hello, Kranky?
Yes, this is Kranky. You're live. How are you
doing?
I'm
live. Okay. Yeah, when I thought so. I was listening to your channel. Okay. So I'm glad I'm live.
Okay. What do you have to say? What do you have to say?
I tell you, let's start from the first thing we need to start from. Because I watched the game, especially the first half. And it goes back to what we've been saying, even when we were on the Management show with Mr. Speed. It's basically very simple. I saw superior, let's take it one by one. I saw superior talent from the USA team compared to the Jamaica team. Let me know where you agree or disagree.
Well, no, it was professionals playing against high school kids.
Thank you. So it goes back to my thing now. That if to compete, if the objective of the profession, if the senior team objective is to win, and you said you saw the financials, I saw the financials of the USA soccer team. 80% of their money comes from sponsorship and winning tournaments. We have no big sponsorship, so we have to win tournaments. Now, if you have no quota for the senior team, why would you have a quota for the under 20 team?
You want me to answer that?
No, go. No, you don't have to answer that. You answer first.
So here's my view on that. I've been thinking about this of late. The JFF is using the overseas-based players to achieve the objective. You talked about the primary source of revenues is probably from Adidas and from winning or making certain tournaments. The JFF knows you can't get there with just local players to do so. So they'll use those players from overseas, a lot of them who have pedigrees, to achieve the goal of generating the revenues. That they can reinvest the revenues in the football, but also just mainly use local players. Because the ultimate goal of the JFF is not to have any local born players in the national team. But they can't do it at the senior level because they don't have, it's very obvious, because the senior level is very unforgiving about who plays at the senior level, and fans are very unforgiving. They're less apt to be that unforgiving when it comes to the junior team. They'll make allowances. You hear some people say, but I'm fine with under 15. I don't agree with under 20 because they are those, but I'm fine with under 15 not just being local players or mainly local players. But when it comes to the senior team, the world is less forgiving. The money that you may miss is less forgiving, and the fans is less forgiving.
Okay.
They don't care about overseas-based players. Or
Okay.
overseas-born players. They don't. They just don't.
And I'm glad you were here, because you were here when I asked Mr. Speed himself. I asked Rudolph to give his reasoning, and he gave me the political objective, which is they're doing it because they were mandated by the voters who put them in as presidents and vice presidents to run the football. That the parish people say that's what they want. Right. So it's not a football decision based on what the parish saying. It's a political thing. It's a political thing.
Yeah, look, in Jamaica, it's always going to be politics, right? I mean, in a lot of different ways. One is that the JFF is comprised of mainly individuals who serve those parishes or who head up those parishes. They have their own individual interests, either for the parish or for themselves. And they want players in their jurisdiction to be part of the national program, whichever one should do. The problem you have is you haven't done a good enough job as a body or as a parish to develop players so they can compete. So the way you manage or change that is, if they can't compete, I'm going to force them in the team, and you're going to see what the outcome is going to see, which is they embarrass themselves.
There you go. So let's take it one by one now. So the talent level. Now, when I look at I made notice of the starting 11, and I noticed there was only 3 players that were not developed in Jamaica. I think it was Welch, Gordon, and the player that you liked. I think it was Welch, and another player named Nile.
Okay.
So it's obvious now that you're playing. So it's like me playing basketball, Jamaica team, and expect to beat USA talented basketball. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, the basketball analogy is an interesting one because, Sudan almost beat the team in a practice game the other day, right? They lost.
Yeah, well, you don't know. I mean, real reason. You don't know the team. Remember the Dream Team? Remember the college team?
Yeah, but see, those countries developing their players. They develop their players based on whatever criteria they have in their country, right? Look, no one is against local players being national team. I've always said this. If it's 23 local players and they're good enough, then it should be 23 local developed players.
Simple.
Yeah, it's not complex.
But I'm glad you mentioned the parallel with the USA team. Their philosophy, just like the senior team, is pick. So if the 20 best players are local, then play the 20 best local players.
Exactly.
So this quota system, from our point of view, now it makes sense political because they get the votes, but it can't make any football sense.
But it's also illegal, right? So I just quoted at the inception of this conversation the fact that the Jamaica Constitution, it's contrary to the Jamaica Constitution and the JFF's own Constitution. I gotta go check on the FIFA. I did read the FIFA. I think I'll go back and read it, but it's contrary to those constitutions. And it basically says that if you're a JFF member, you have to observe the Constitution. Now, observe is an interesting word in a legal document, which makes no sense. So it may have been deliberately written, written that way, so they can't necessarily need to adhere to it. It should have said adhere to the Constitution. But having said that, it even also calls out the fact that you can be disciplined if you don't observe the Constitution. So who's going to discipline the person? Here's the contrary thing here, people. The Constitution says you can't discriminate, but you're discriminating. The Constitution says there's penalties for discriminating, but the people who's going to administer the punishment, if any, are the same people discriminating. You can't make this up. You cannot if you try, you couldn't make it up.
You just educated me there now. That they're discriminating against their own people.
Yes, they're discriminating against the people of Jamaica and the Jamaican citizens. And if you look at, I think it's chapter 4 of the JFF Constitution and chapter, 3? I have it here someplace, of the Jamaica Constitution, it's illegal. It's not debatable. It's not something, I don't need no lawyer to come tell me what's right or wrong. It's chapter 4 of Jamaica Constitution that has it. And you have it in their constitution that talks about this, right? That basically says it's illegal to discriminate. It's not appropriate to discriminate. So when you do that, and then you can justify it by saying, you're basically saying, I don't care what Kranky say. I don't care what they go say. I can't tell me what to do. We are JFF, a rerun thing. I'm not talk, or think the people I'm thinking. Nobody can tell you what to do. We are FIFA organization. Government can't get involved because then FIFA get involved. Only can't tell you what to do. We run things. We don't care what no one, so no can't change nothing. And if it's illegal, we don't care.
So then, basically, as we were trying to educate now the listeners, this quota system doesn't make sense financially because you're not making money if you don't qualify, and it doesn't make sense from a football sense because you're putting inferior talent so it goes back to the point, and now you're making a point which I didn't know. It's discrimination.
Yeah, it is.
So, question for you then: is this in writing? This quota system?
No one has showed me, and it's not in their constitution. The quota, it can't be. A quota is contrary to the constitution, so you can't have it in writing. They have made it up on the fly. They have published no policy on their website which talks about this quota. They have talked about it in the public domain. They've talked about it's a process whereby they have a quota, but they make allowances for the quota or some exemptions if the coach can justify the selection of players in excess of the quota. We have no idea what the justification is. First of all, we don't want no justification for nothing because it should be based on merit. You don't need a justification. But even when you have the justification, they're saying the coach have to come and justify. That's why they got rid of Wall. That's why they got rid of John Wall. Because John Wall wanted to go get players. Because John Wall basically said at the outset of all of this that the players that he's seen, the local players, I'm using my own term, are not good enough for what they're trying to achieve. JFF didn't agree, so they reassigned him, and then they said, which is not genuine, disingenuous what they said, which is we reassigned him because he can't do 2 jobs at once. Right? So when you assign him, you didn't think about that. But it's after you assign him and he's win the first round of games, you thought about that. It's amazing how disingenuous the JFF is and what they're trying to espouse to us and communicate to us and tell us. And that we should just buy off on it and go about our business because, as they said, and they're right about this, we can't do anything about it.
They're right about that,
Yeah, we can't do anything about it.
They're right about that. It's their organization. The only people they are intact is their stakeholders and FIFA.
No, but I would think the stakeholders are a number of people: the fans, the government.
No man. The stakeholders are who votes. The 62 voters.
No.
That's how they see it.
No. Yeah, well, yes, okay. But the stakeholders should be everybody who is interested in Jamaica football, have a stake in Jamaica football, is in want to be involved in Jamaica football. That should be the stakeholders, but they have a very narrow group of stakeholders. It's the Chris Williams of the world. So I'm going to call her Chris because I've heard him in different forums who don't want no overseas playing team. And people like Chris have the ears of the JFF, engage with the JFF. It's part of the whole construct. This is how they operate. They're all friends. And they're basically saying, Kranky, I can't want to say. I can't run the motor, no one. When the motor get dry, I can't do it our way, and I can't do not about it.
And then Chris Williams bringing what's the most important thing now, the cheese. In America we call it the cheese, the money.
Well, I don't know if people bringing the money. I heard how much money they spend for the finals, which they promote as being so big and all that. And if you look under the surface, it may not be as big as people think it was. The numbers may look good. Question: did you generate money from those numbers, or were the numbers inflated? Not inflated in terms of do something illegal. Inflated in terms of if you see 20,000 stands in the seat, did you get $10 per person? or was it really half of them were free and you get $10 for the rest, or half were free, another 50% or 40% was VIPs, and you only get the rest of the money from paying fans? Who knows?
I don't understand it, as you were saying. So it's against the constitution of FIFA, as you're saying, this quota system. So what's wrong with
the FIFA talks about human rights, and I got to go find FIFA, because I was on FIFA site today looking at it. They have some compliance document. I didn't see the piece there. They may even think about quota in FIFA because, and the reason why they might have thought about it is because most countries wouldn't have that issue, right? Most countries don't export people and then try to bring them back. And most countries are not, even when they do, they're not discriminating against them. I told you I spoke to Jerzina Des when I was at the airport coming back from Dallas when I went to watch the Nations League. And I asked him the question, do you guys have any of this challenge? And he laughed like, no, we just look for the best players wherever they are. That's it. Done.
But as Chris is saying, which is a great thing, is true, but it takes time. He wants the Jamaica Premier League to be like the MLS in 2034. So until then, just have a free choice of picking your best players. What's wrong with that?
What do you mean, to be like the MLS in 2030? What does that mean?
Yeah, he wants the level of Jamaica Premier League, so that like our USA goes right to the MLS, and which is fine. Nothing
but
is wrong.
Most of the players in the first team for the US are not from the MLS.
No, he's talking, well, at least from the under-20. I saw it was mostly from the MLS.
Yes, but they have players from overseas. They have players from Portugal. They have players from Germany. They have players from overseas. But yes, there are a number of them from MLS teams. Right?
MLS team, but many of them weren't born in America.
I wouldn't say many, but a number of them. Some of them were born outside the U.S. I wouldn't say many. I don't know if many were or not, but I did know they quote the kid from like Liberia, for example. I was just going by what they were commenting on the game. Some of the kids were not born in the U.S. They're born in other places, but obviously they're U.S. citizens. That's why they're playing.
Because I'm saying if you don't have a quota for the senior team, it's just because of the objective. The objective should be the same for your under 20 because they are professional ages also. Why, but again, as you're giving us some reasons. But I'm asking you, did you see the Costa Rica game and the Cuba game?
No, I didn't watch that game. I knew Cuba scored first. I knew the game tied 1-1, but I didn't watch the game now.
I would love if anyone saw the game to tell me now, because I saw the variation in quality. Are we close in quality now to Costa Rica and Cuba, where we can still find a way to qualify?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. And yeah, we'll see what happens. After you get 9, I don't know how you recover.
Well, if you
play well,
if you can recover if the quality of Costa Rica and Cuba is not at the quality of USA.
But Costa Rica always have good teams, right? Costa Rica always competes, always. Even when they have an old team and the team before the last World Cup, the team at the last World Cup was very old. They still compete. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Actually, they play tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. I hope to watch the game. Right. Even though I wasn't watching on 20, but I hope to watch it. Thanks, Diego. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Say no more.
Yeah, man. Bless up. So that was Diego, people. Diego is always involved in football in the tri-state area. I used to play in the Bronx League where Diego used to have one of the better teams up there. So bless up, Diego. Thanks for calling in. People, the number is open. The number is here. You can call in. I'm not sure how long I'm going to run this program. I just jumped on because I was getting calls and requests to come and talk about this. So I decided to do so. It's not the best subject on a Sunday. And I did it impromptu, so it wasn't a planned session. I decided, you know what? Let me jump on for a few minutes, talk about this, and then jump off. I'm planning to come tomorrow and talk about other stuff, not just Jamaica football. I'm sure I'll get less people, but hey, you got to start. So as they say, you got to start someplace. So I'll be talking about. I plan to start my, as I mentioned a number of times before, my channel, which is called Uncensored Views. Talk about everything but sports, frankly, on that channel. Hopefully I can get something. I'm busy in the morning, but get something early afternoon. And then possibly come back, depends on how that go in the afternoon with Kranky Live. Talk more sports, but more general sports, not just talk about Jamaica football. Because as you know, the senior team is now gone back to the clubs. And the under-20s team is playing, and I had made a promise to myself I wouldn't spend a lot of time in the under-20, which I haven't, actually. So Mr. J says, can you tell Speed to stop saying this admin is better than the previous one because If you do an exam and the passing grade is 55%, you score 49%, you fail. Thanks for the super chat, Mr. J. Mr. J. Mr. J, look, I believe there's a low bar that they're using to say how good they are, but because the previous administration wasn't that great. Right? As I said before at the outset, we haven't made under 20 since 2001. And that was the previous administration. So it wasn't that great, people. We made one World Cup in our history. So if you use World Cup as the barometer, then we can't say we're that great, right? A lot of countries have not made World Cup, a number of them. We have, but you know what? In this region, a number of countries, Trinidad's made World Cup one, Panama's made World Cup, Costa Rica, US, a bunch of teams have made World Cup. So that the bar needs to be raised. The bar is very, very low. So when Rudolph said these things, sometimes I have to smile and says, okay, I'm not sure what we use to measure them. If you're measuring the administration so they're better than the previous one, what is criteria you're using? How much money they're making? They may make more money from prize money. Is it them or in spite of them? I keep asking this question. Is it the administration and their capability and ability, or is it just the players on the field and have nothing to do with the administration? Even though they may say, well, we select the players well, you don't do a good job of getting them passport. You've been poor in doing that. You don't give them best facilities to be successful. There's always some logistical problem in the late. It has reduced somewhat. And that's both for the men's and women's team. Because we keep talking about the men's team. The women have gone much farther than the men. They have made the second round of the World Cup. They have made consecutive World Cup. By the way, the women's team, as he mentioned the other day, had 14 overseas-born players. You know why? In the senior team, you know why? Because we don't have the supply locally. So even though the local supply may not be at the right level, we'll still put them in the team. We don't even have that in Jamaica to do. So you have no choice. They had no choice but to use overseas-born players in the national team for the women's. So that's not because of something that they're doing, which allowed that to happen. It's because they have no choice. For them to field a team, they have to do so. So, number open, people. 347-728-8625. If no one's calling, I mean, I get no input. I'll close on the show because, a Sunday, Jamaican, you have to eat a Sunday dinner, even though I'm a vegetarian. So Sunday dinner is not no rice and peas and no goat or no anything there. You know what? I made some breadfruit. Hey, me never bring on some breadfruit for Jamaica. Hey, the breadfruit sweet. Jeez. If I fry the bread from the right way, and I'm telling me, I fry it the right way. You fry it how me like it. Me now fry it no crisp thing. I take out some of the whatever nutrients in the breadfruit. I don't know what nutrients in there. But me tell you, the breadfruit is wicked star. Wicked. So I don't eat some and me done. As I eat for dinner plus some other stuff. Sure, so I have some other stuff to eat. Kranky, do you believe the JFF finds alarming about the number of junior players who matriculate to the senior men's team? Are they satisfied with those numbers? They can't be, because if you talk about local developed players, they can't be. Here's my philosophy, people, which people don't seem to get, which JFF don't seem to get. The JFF need better talent in the organization. That's without a doubt. I know they changed the general secretary. I'm not sure they've improved that position. I'll be honest. I don't care who want to give me a hard time about that. They need better talent. You can't just change it. We can't sit here talking about the talent in the football team needs to change. And the coach came in and changed talent. The masseurs, they changed the physical trainers. The coach came in and changed all these things, the database we have. I mean, the same people run the organization. That can't be right. So you're changing everything about you, but those who make decisions, who frankly are not good enough, a lot of them, are still there making the same decisions. That's the problem you have. And because you can't look in the mirror and see it, people. So let me do the analogy with Joe Biden. Joe Biden just dropped out the race for the U.S. presidency because he realized he wasn't up to the job. I love what Joe Biden has done. I'm going to get in trouble with this. You know what? I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. I'm not going to give away what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. But, so that's a person sacrificing for his party and his country. JFF ain't sacrificing nobody. All of them is about themselves. I've said this years ago, still saying it. They're not sacrificing. Even the one who knows they're not competent, they're not give up the sweet spot them have. Now get up. They only care about themselves, not the national team, not the national program. And somebody asked me that they've been afraid some people not come up on my channel. Well, the only person come up on my channel from JFF for speed. And he may not want to come back. We can't know about that. I thought the truth. Truth shall set me free. Truth shall set me free. If Rudolph said not come back, me understand that. If somebody beat me may not want to go back on them channel either. Me not try to beat Rudolph. I thought the truth. If the truth bother you, I can't help you. I try to be respectful to people. I keep saying on this channel, I'm not here to beat people. I want the channel to be one which is uplifting, try to help. And I have some ideas here for the under 20, Not the under 20, for just the JFF in general, which at some point may communicate here. But I think the main thing I need to do, the short-term thing is to try to address some of these concerns immediately, the symptoms. The medium term is they have to get the coaching right and to get management right. The long-term plan is much more comprehensive. Now, if you develop a very comprehensive football program for the country, philosophy, style of play, this nonsense about me, we want to be flexible, this and flexible that. We're not gymnasts. We're not on flexibility thing. Come with a style of play. We're not a gymnasts. Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
We're not gymnasts.
Kranky, good evening. You're speaking to a first-time caller, Stephen.
Good evening, Stephen. How are you doing? What do you say, Stephen?
Good enough, and thanks for accepting the call. Hey, Kranky, me and my friend debate this Jamaican football situation a million times by now. My solution is this. We have to take away the football from schools. What I meant by that, Kranky, is that schools can play their football. They're always going to play their football. But their emphasis is on winning. Until we get academies that attach to clubs, that develop players for clubs, there is no way Jamaican football going to come out of the state that we are in. We're going to continue to do this for a million years. Now, the other question, Kranky, which country in the world gets their footballers from school system?
No, most countries don't. So in the US, for example, in some place, I have a friend of mine who, her son, who she adopted, I think he's about 12, and they have this sort of MLS program you get involved in. I forget what they call it. MLS Next Generation or whatever. And he wants to quit that to play for his high school. Because, when you're 13 or 12 and he's got to get notoriety in school, but he can't do both. So you have to make a choice, right? His parents don't want him to quit it, but he's decided he's going to quit it. So no, normally you may play for your high school very early, but at some point you transition out, right? You transition out to a more professional environment where you can get really good development, especially if you have aspirations to be a pro. So yeah, no, people don't use high school as a means to develop them. Look, high school is embedded in Jamaican society at all levels as it comes to sports. It's been there for years. I think when the football environment infrastructure gets better, when the teams become more professional, when they get more resources and they can support academies better, you may see that transition. You may see a combination of both. People could still go to high school, may play at some point, but then the academies take over. I don't know how you run it and if it will work. It's going to be very hard not to do both. But you got to figure out if I want to do both, how do I do so? Because things are solvable, right? Put good minds in a room, have them work through the problems, figure it out. We only play football in Jamaican high school from between September and December, right? You probably got to train a little bit in the summer. That's 6 months of the year you're not playing any football. So if you think through it and say, you know what, maybe at a certain age and level, maybe you don't play high school until after you play up to 17, you don't play high school anymore. You got to go transition to professional. If you want to play high school, you may not have the ability to play professional. So you still want to have an avenue to play football. Maybe you're better players, don't participate in high school, but come up with ways and means to allow you to pull out the exceptional talent and develop them the right way so they can compete at the highest level across the globe. But I don't think high school football will go away.
But saying that, Kranky, when you say pull them out and put them in a professional environment, what environment will that be? In the clubs?
Yeah, so across the world, if you look at the US, MLS, for example, or in Europe, clubs have academies, right? Players are part of those academies. So they play in the academies. The academies have teams. Maybe you have competition across the academy community. If you can get enough professional, say JPL have 12 teams, for example, and each have an academy. And you may have people in the JPL, then you have people at the next level down. At some point, if you get enough resources, you can have academies, but academies can be expensive, right? You need money to come from the top of the house to trickle down to the academies. That's part of the challenge you run into. So you have to come up with a more flexible program to achieve that objective. I don't have the answers today, but I think if people sit down and think through it, they can come up with ways to make that happen. Part of Jamaica's problem is money. Part of the problem is money. Part of the problem is money and history and what you have in place today, you have to take a step back, revisit that, and be more strategic in your approach to address this problem.
Well, Kranky, I'm praying for someone or the people who are running the football can really sit down one day and say, look, we need to do something and we need to get the sport where it's supposed to be. But doing the same thing since 1909 not gonna solve the problem. So I don't know.
Well, look, we still have hope, right? We still have a senior team that no longer gets these kind of scores. Our senior team haven't got those bad scores in a long while. We don't get more than 3 from Mexico. We don't get more than 3 from the US. We're not getting on 5 love and 6 love. Like I remember in the 90s and some of those times. I remember a team came up here once and they went to Colorado and play and they got like 6 and it could have been 10. So
I usually see,
yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I usually see Jamaica get 6-0 from Trinidad.
Well, that was way back when. We don't get that anymore.
And Cuba.
Yeah, but see, that's the point too, right? So there is improvement at the senior level, whether it's local or our overseas players inform the team or supplement the team. We do see a lesser of that, and we're more competitive in the region, but the locally developed players are not as competitive as we want them to be, and I don't disagree with what the administration is saying, which is that needs to change, but it's how you go about that change. You can't tell me I have 10 players who are Jamaican citizens, they're better than 10 locally developed players, and you're still going to play those locally developed players and have them be exposed as you just did. That cannot be okay. And the JFF, I don't hear them come out and say anything about it. So who owns this people? Who's to blame? Because there got to be a blame game here. Who is to blame for this? Is that is that Rudolph Speed? Is that Downswell? Is that Ricketts? Is that Chung? Is that all of them? Is that the board? Who's to blame?
Because
it ain't the coach. Don't tell me it's the coach, because I hear the coach didn't have a lot of say in a lot of this. So don't just blame the coach. Needs some blame about the strategy employed for the game, because he was poor, by the way. He just threw on substitute as if that's going to change anything. He blaming the players on the field because some of them not playing the level you think they should be playing. It had nothing to do with that. It's about your structure. Your structure was poor. You're playing the same way in the game where you're getting slaughtered and you didn't change anything. No tourniquet was applied. You just give them a knife to cut it wider than it was.
Yeah.
CC, the numbers run across the stream, CC, and I'll look on it. Sorry, Carla. Go ahead, Carla.
Yeah, that was my little 2 cents, Frankie. So
well, I appreciate the call. I'm going to say it's the first call. I appreciate the call. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Bless you. Have a good evening.
Okay.
All right. CC, the number's on the screen, CC. Chelsea, we're talking about smart thing. Come on, Chelsea, man. We don't care with the armband. Man, probably never want the armband on, man. Probably prognosticate the future, which is we'll get whams. I mean, wear the armband for me, for my sleeve. That may not look good. Bless up Anthony Mark. so that may be a good thing, not wearing the armband, wearing on your wrist versus your sleeve. Yeah, I agree the coach was given a team. John Wall didn't want to take the team he was given, so he wasn't fired, he was reassigned. Or JFF don't fire people, they reassign people. Or they don't renew their contract. They don't fire. Fire's out of their domain. They don't do that. They're very cute with how they operate. They're as they would tell you, they're a smart bunch, except when it comes to football. You don't seem to be that smart. Yeah, no, Tripoli, no, listen to everything that you hear, Tripoli. Why should a coach have to justify a citizen in his or her team? That is not capped out. That makes no sense, Tripoli. This concept you have to justify players. How does that make sense to any rational person in life? In any country, we don't bifurcate the citizenship and say, you know what? A Kranky has this amount of rights and Tripoli has this amount of rights. No, they have the same rights. So, yeah. Wall is on garden leave. I wonder what guard he might attend to. The number, CC, 347-728-8625. There's a number that run across the bottom of the screen, CC. 347-728-8625. Yeah, John Watt is on garden leave, people, so he must have a guard he might attend to. Oh, if he wait. You know, when you're on garden leave, is one of two things, you know. Now, when you have garden leave, is you give notice, you know. You don't give notice. You give notice. And them say they don't want you to go nowhere else. So they make you put that on like a spot until the timeline that they determine expires. I mean, I understand the garden leave thing with John Wall. That made no sense to me. Did he leave or did it? Because if he leave, I mean, why wouldn't Hogginson be on garden if he resign? I mean, I understand the concept. Confused. This must be CC card, Jamaica number. Good evening.
Yes. Hello. Hold on, Kranky. Yes.
So your card didn't tell me if you hold on CC. I understand you.
Yeah. So no, I was saying. Remember, John Wall was moved, and then they said John Wall was appointed as talent identification coordinator. But apparently, recently, he was relieved of such duty. So the only other news is, I must say, Garden ain't gonna tend to, but I was hearing that he was relieved of his talent identification.
So what duties does he have now? What duties does he have now?
Collect a paycheck a month time until further notice.
You see, people, so we waste money now as a country now. Because you see, when you have a little bit of money in your pocket, you get excited to spend it because you think there's no tomorrow. Or you think tomorrow gonna always bring money.
I don't hear any duty assigned because that was the duty, and if there's no duty right now. So right now we don't know what John Wall's job is right now at the day, or if he's still with the organization. We don't know. We just don't know. But my thing is,
go ahead.
Yeah, my thing is this, Kranky. Because I think even when they say development of football in Jamaica and the whole local thing, that I think what they're missing is that I think if you look 20 years ago, even when I was younger, I'm still young, but even when I was younger and going to primary school, like my school, there was a lot more schools participating in football to a certain degree, and in that period, you see Ricardo Fuller, the Rudolph Austin, the what the other guy, the name Teddy Johnson. There was quite a number of players that we would have came out through the local system and went overseas, whether in the championship or whether go up in the Premier League. So you'd have like Fuller end up in the Premier League from the championship. But my thing is that I don't know if it is that we don't sustain and improve upon the things that we were doing before, or we just reverse. Like, for example, if we were coaching, so we had coaches, but they weren't necessarily as qualified. However, like the modern game, why did we not try improve upon that and produce more quality players? Because my thing is this: if we could produce a Bibi Gardner, a Ricardo Fuller, say even a Rudolph Austin, Jeremy and Teddy Johnson, if we could have those players, Kranky, right? Why can't we find some of those players right now? What is the reasons as to why?
Well, no, look, Jamaica does export players, right? I mean, we can't say Jamaica doesn't export players. The Nicholson of the world, a number of players have gone overseas, right? The Blakes, the Lowe, the Nicholson, and even more recently, the Kaheem, Paris, and those individuals. So we have export players. The question is, are the players, because the world, more and more investment is made in football across the world, right? And so therefore, you have to get better every year. You can't just rest on your laurels. So when you're getting better, somebody's getting even incrementally more better than you are. So you have to keep abreast and try to keep ahead. Now, the one thing that we have, like some nations may not have, is the innate athleticism. But then you got to go learn the game itself and how to think to then leverage athleticism to differentiate you. And we're not doing that. What we're doing is we're being parochial, we're being xenophobic, we're being discriminatory in our approach, believing that that's going to allow us to get to where we need to get to. And the result the other day is suggesting otherwise. Now, they may say it's a temporary blip. It's a huge blip. Huge blip. When you get 9 love, that resonate in any environment, in any place, and that causes a lot of frustration, consternation, concern should be by all your stakeholders. Now, the ones in Jamaica, like Chris and others, may not care, but they're saying you got to pay the price to achieve your goal, But Chris and I would be gone from this earth before we get anywhere utilizing the strategy they're doing today. So we won't be here.
But my thing to Kranky is that if we qualify, because my thing is this: if we use the best players and qualify, it does. You see, I don't understand if they don't understand that these things are mutually exclusive. Then put it like this: qualification using the best players is not synonym. Is not like, if you do that, is not going to negate the need for developing local, or it's not going to impede local development of players. So that's what I'm trying to understand.
No.
What is this?
So I think we're confused about something. Being in the national team has nothing to do with development, right? I believe that what the objective is this, which is, if I get these players in the under 20 and even under 17, these players will be get exposure, get recognized, maybe acquired by some firm overseas, and I'll generate revenues to invest back into football, especially with the clubs that the players are from. Now, they'll say, well, no, that's not the case because under 15 is different. Now, they're supposed to have some. They're basically saying, well, the kids who are young, like under 15, those overseas have much more resources at their disposal and get more opportunities. My view has always been this, which is this. If you want the best, if a kid is 14, he has Jamaican heritage, he wants to play for Jamaica, and you deny him, who are you to deny him? Where do you get, how presumptive are you to deny that kid? Where do you get off denying that kid the ability to play for that country when they qualify to play and they have the ability to play and they merit? It's supposed to be a meritocracy. Who the heck are you to tell them they can't play? Where do you get that ability? Where do you get that autonomy from to do so?
It's like a gatekeeper business where, like, I decide who is to play and on what basis do you play, even if you possess the quality and the talent and the skill level required to play. So yeah, I mean,
I don't know where you get the audacity to say, well, I'm going to determine whether or not your kid playing at Kranky. He's 15, he's exceptional. He wants to play as a citizen, but he can't play because I say so. Who the hell are you? Who made you God? Who made the determinant? Because you think you're God in the role you're playing. You're not supposed to be, and that needs to change. That should not be the case. You should have no control over that. Zero. Nobody should control that ever. Nobody should tell me I can't play if I'm a citizen. If I qualify to play, I'm the best player. The only person who can say I can play is the coach who say I don't fit his or her system. You don't have the right to do so.
But the next thing I'm going to ask, though, Kranky, why is it that we don't have, for example, qualification for the U-20, and I think even U-17, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that qualification every other year? Because the World Cup is next year. So that means the qualification is going to be in 2026 again for the 2027 tournament. And then from 2028 qualification again for the 2029 tournament. My thing is this, Kranky, right? Why is it that only when we have a tournament or a qualification tournament do we have a youth coach? Why is it that only when the tournament is going on we actually have a coach in place? Why is there not like a settled coach? For example, if we can say Jamaica is going to play in a window, right?
Right.
Jamaica is going to play in September, and the senior team. So why is it that we can't get like a U-20 team or a U-21 team to play against like Panama U-21 or any one of these other teams that are out there with youth teams, right? Because all I'm saying is this, Kranky. No way. There's no other country where I think even Spain have a youth coach, and they don't have a youth coach just solely when they have a European Championship qualification. They have a settled coach ready there every month. So I'm trying to figure out why is it that, because for example, Jerome Wade comes in, after this tournament finishes, there's no more youth coach. There's no more U-20 coach, you know. If we don't qualify Kranky, there's no more U-20 coach. So then it comes back to my conversation. Who is selecting the players? Because if you don't have a settled coach in the program until you go to a qualification tournament, who will select the player then? Who will select the player?
Yeah, and guys, here's what's interesting, because I've always believed that no one has a monopoly on intellect and information, and we should all leverage off each other to help improve what we're doing in life, no matter what the discipline is. And what's also is interesting is that if you look at England, for example, their setup, where they had Southgate as the head of their youth development program or the coach for the under 20 and under 70, whatever it was. And then when he left, he went to the senior team and they replaced him with someone who's now being considered, I forgot the guy's name, for the senior team. So what they do is they build a pipeline of coaches and they help develop their coaches through whatever program they have for the national team, right? Now they may get a coach who is not English, but at least they have done so because they were in a bind when Sam Allardyce decided not to have Sam Allardyce be the coach after they appointed him because of some of the things that he got involved in. But they went back to they went to Southgate, who was not considered for the role previously and may never been considered as a fallback. It worked. So they're going down that route again. It could be a Carsley, thank you, to be considered for the role. So in essence, what they have done is create some kind of a pipeline, but also have measures to identify where the coach may have the skill set they need to do the job. So what you're saying is right, which is we keep changing coach at under 20, then there is no transition plan for that coach to maybe evolve or transition to the senior team.
So Kranky, look, from 1977 for England U-21, now from 1977 to the present, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They had 13 coaches, right? From 1977 to 2021, they have 13 coaches. You see, if we should check Jamaica, in 13 years we have 13 coaches. If we have qualified, if we have played in 20 qualifications,
you may have more than 13. You may have more than 13 because sometimes with the coaches in the year, especially the junior level, we just roll. It's assembly line. We just keep rolling them over.
So that and that's my thing, because even Gareth Southgate was coach for the U-21 for 3 years. Then Boothroyd took the team from 2016 to 2021 for 5 years, and Lee Carsley right now is from 2021 to now. That's 3 years. So that's simply and I think people now realize like their youth program, some of those youth players are coming through to the senior team. Some of those players that have played in the U-21, they're coming straight through to the senior team. So if the youth program is to supplement the senior team, why is it that we don't have a coach that can stay there for 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah.
We're gonna have, for example, Jerome Waite, a coach a team now. Why is it that we never had Jerome Waite as the coach from 2021? So by the time we reach to this juncture, Jerome Waite would have coached over 60 different players and would have been settled on a team and say, all right, these are the 21 players that we need. Because if you don't have a coach in place for the last 3 years or so, basically what you're doing is that, you know about the All-Star game, like when I'm playing at the NBA, like the All-Star games are, like they would have like All Money Cup, All Dakasta Cup.
Yeah.
You have never coached these players. They just come and say, we are going to have an All-Star game. Here is these players that made the All-Star team, and then we just install you as the coach, Kranky. And then you go out there and you select the 11, you make the substitution them. But guess what? You have never coached these players.
I have heard that as part of this new, I forgot the name of the program they have where they're trying to identify exceptional talent, that they'll now have coaches spread across the island. Because before, there's only 1 or 2 coaches that identify talent between Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Catherine, and maybe a couple in Clarendon. Then they'll go country, go find talent. So supposedly, these coaches have been dispersed across the island. They'll identify the talent and bring them into that center. And supposedly, that's one of the strategy they're going to employ to help improve this. But I think that's a long way away.
Well, look at it like this, Kranky. Jerome Waite a coach side now. I believe if you have a key, like if Jerome Waite is there now, even if they don't qualify, you should not remove him until him go at the next tournament again. So he should be here this year for the remainder of the year, should be here next year again for the remainder of next year, and he should be there for the next qualification tournament. Because guess what happened now? If we don't qualify, then every time there is a FIFA window, then he will be able to call players, invite players to come and play for the U-20 team. And the JFF is supposed to set up games so we can have games in every FIFA window until the next qualification tournament. So by the time the next qualification tournament comes around, the coach would have gone through a plethora of players, right? And he would have been able to settle on a 21 squad to say, all right. He would have been able to settle and say, all right, these are my core players. And the players then would have some form of chemistry. It cannot be, may I tell you so right now I anticipate that if we don't qualify and we drop out, the coach will be removed and there will be no coach for the youth team. And that is a problem. I
Yeah.
anticipate that is going to happen in Kranky, and that is the problem. Therein lies the problem when there's no continuity. There's no continuity at the youth level, and then but at the senior level, it's kind of different in a way where we go out and probably can get an international coach, I think. But there's no continuity at the youth level, and then therefore there's no continuity for for players. Not even the development, but because players don't develop in the national team, but there's no continuity for players matriculating into the senior team because there's no continuity for in the coaching department. So basically, once we don't qualify, there's no U20 team. Basically, there's no youth team until there's a tournament, and that is the next problem because there should be a youth team in every time there's a FIFA window. There should be a youth team because even when I saw the England team, and the thing we want to know is this, Kranky, do we follow best practices? Because best practices shows that Spain, France, England, all of these teams have a U21 team in most FIFA windows. So are we following best practices or are we just doing our thing? We just do a thing. It's like a hustling business. We just a hustle. You know, so we're going in qualification tournament where hustle a thing to say hustle up a team to qualify so we can get the money. And then we just if it don't work, it don't work. And then we just put it down. And then we call hustle again.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out, do we not follow best practices and look around the world and say this is what is going on in football globally? And this is where we need to be. And that is the problem because if we are not going to look better if we do not apply continuity to our program in terms of the coaching department and then continuity for the players. We're not going to go anywhere.
So
Cece,
one of the things that people are saying is that the persons who are involved in JFF have too many jobs and too many roles they play, so they can't really focus all their efforts on the football. Do you agree with that sentiment?
All right. So, and this is the thing with that I agree with the sentiment. Say, sometimes the person who's coaching the youth team, they have too many jobs in terms of them coaching club and coaching youth. Because I can give you this example. I remember when Steve McLaren was coaching, when was the caretaker coach for England, I think in 2001 or 2, if I'm not mistaken, before Spain going Ericsson, before Ericsson got the job. He was still coaching Middlesbrough, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe that was the reason why the people say, we can't give the job because even though you're basically a caretaker boss, you never leave your club job and apply yourself fully to the England job. And then they applied and then they gave Ericsson the job. So my thing is this: if you're coaching Tivoli and you're coach like you're coach Waterhouse a club, right? If Tivoli I pay you, Tivoli I pay you 200,000, Waterhouse pay you 200,000. Then I tell the JFF say, I require 500,000 a month. So basically now, instead of you do 2 jobs plus the national job, you cover the 2 job pay in the 1 job that you're doing now, and you dedicate your time to this 1 job. Because even if you stop coaching the national team, you stop coaching the U-20 team, Kranky, you must be able to get a next job. A coaching there's going to be jobs available because coaches always get fired, Kranky, because results-based business. So there's always going to be an opportunity for you to coach.
Yeah, but Cece, they may say, look, the JFF doesn't have the resources to pay a coach under 20 on a full-time basis, which would cover his or her compensation given what opportunities are out there for them. Meaning, if they're coaching a club team, a high school team, cover the JFF role, so that's $700,000, but the JFF can only afford 400. They're leaving 300,000 on the table. Why would they do that?
But that's the thing, though, Kranky. You're leaving 300,000 on the table, but it's like you're not necessarily the results are not coming. Like for me, I think sometimes we have to reconsider. I understand from the point of view that they want to make money, but make money at the expense of what? At the expense of not fully dedicating your time to any of these jobs. Because it doesn't, to me, it's either that or we leave the program alone. Because it doesn't make sense for you to be coaching a club, coaching a high school, and coaching a national team, a youth national team. It doesn't make sense. And then the thing is that the JFF needs to diversify their revenue streaming where they can facilitate a U17 and a U20 team right around the clock. You have to diversify. And even if they only had a U20 team, and say they didn't have a U17 team right around the clock, they could possibly field players in the same U20 team that are of a certain age group that they can facilitate it. But I believe they should have a U17, U20 team, and a U17 and U20 coach right around the clock. So even if you wanted to say, all right, then, the person who is coaching the U20 team is the same person who is coaching the U20 team, just hypothetically speaking. And the U17 team in that period doesn't necessarily. So you have the assistant coach of the U20, he's the head coach for the U17.
Right.
So if the U20 plays at a certain time, the U17 does not play in that period. But if you have a qualification, because if there is a qualification tournament, I have never seen, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Kranky, I've never seen a U17 tournament, qualification tournament being held at the same time as a U20 tournament.
No, they try to spread these things out because you may have players playing at both levels, right? They try to spread these things out.
All right. So if that is the case, that means that the assistant to the U20 can be the head coach for the U17.
It's possible, but you got to be careful with that, because the question is, are they training at the same facilities, the same location? How will you? Because if I'm doing it on the U20, you're doing the U15 or whatever the number is, are you training at the same time? How do you spread your time between both when they're training at the same time? Right? I do think countries do these things. Look, nowadays, people, we don't have to recreate the wheel now. Things have been done across the globe. There are people we want to leverage from who are doing it really well. You hear me always complaining about getting a Spain coach. It's not just because I love how Spain play football and what they have done. It's because I think that there's additional benefits to be derived from that if you get that person in to help with the football. I know that the view for the World Cup is just to get to the World Cup and then get the money and take it from there. I want someone to come in who has a philosophy, who's going to help deploy that philosophy across Jamaica, make sure it's embedded in the society, and we have that style of play. And to me, there's only one style of play to have anyway, but that's me. Go ahead, CC. It's not a lot of style of play to have. It's one style. I know that you have to learn how to do the other styles, but I'm sorry. There's one style, and then the other things are derived from it. There's a core style, and you have derivatives. That's the way I view it.
Yeah, but Kranky, you see, and that's the thing that I don't understand. People don't understand even with the international, getting an international coach. When you get an international coach, Kranky, it opens up the possibilities of you even getting to play against certain quality teams. For example, when we got probably René Simoes, we would have gotten opportunities to play against Brazil, would have gotten opportunities to play against even other certain club teams in the Brazilian league. My thing is that, as you just rightfully said, if you should get a certain type of coach, then it creates that avenue where we can go and play against quality teams with quality players to build chemistry and build and just raise our quality overall. So when you come back and play in the CONCACAF region, because my thing is that when I want to go World Cup 2026, and then now when I go World Cup, my kids them are gonna tell me say, oh, they don't know what it is like to go to World Cup, because the World Cup is we are wait the next 20 years to qualify again. It cannot be that case. That means we have not learned anything.
CC, I hope we qualify for this one, because think about it. The next World Cup, the US, Mexico, and Canada will not be host countries. So therefore, you have to compete with them for the 4 spots in the region. It's a much bigger task to do. Much more difficult task to accomplish.
Yeah, because if we don't qualify for this one in a Kranky, unless the World Cup expands to 60 teams, if we don't qualify for this one, Kranky, we won't go anywhere. And then the final thing I say, Kranky.
Yeah.
How many Olympics have been played, right? Years after years after year, Olympic are played. And this is the next thing we think them to understand. As to the reason why we need to have a youth team round the clock, right?
Right.
The U20, the Olympics is played every 4 years as well. The Olympics have a football tournament involved in it for a U23 team. So the Olympics as a football tournament for a U23 team, that simply means if we have a U20 team training around the clock, even if we say by the time that team we don't necessarily have to confine ourselves to just play the U20 World Cup to play the U20 championship. We have Olympics we can play for as well, Kranky. Because even the last U20 qualification that we entered, it was the double qualification, you know. It was qualification for the 2024 this year Olympics. It was a qualification for this Olympics and also the U20 tournament that was held. Last year it was held? Yeah. So the U20 World Cup that was held last year and the Paris Olympics that is going to be held in the summer. It was a qualification for both. And I think Damrep, if I'm not mistaken, will be playing at the Paris Olympics if I'm not mistaken. So my thing is this. That means we are leaving a lot of football on the table where the kids could have been playing in multiple tournaments. So by the time they are playing at the youth the senior level, they would have played a multitude of games. You know how much players Kranky play at least 50 games at youth level? Yeah. Imagine how much players across the world have played 50 games at the youth level and only played 10 games at senior level. That shows you the level of difficulty it is when you reach a senior level. So my thing is this right now, people are just playing like 30 and 35 games at Jamaica. And I don't know, like for me, as I said, we are reinventing the wheel when the wheel is already created and all we need is to do is to apply ourselves. But it just don't look good right now, Kranky. And right now, I'm going to see where we are improving and we are trying to improve.
I hear you, CC. I know some people want to call in, CC. I appreciate the call. Thanks a lot.
All right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Bless up. Okay. All right, Yadis. You want to call in? Call in, no, Yadi. It's, well, I want to just Parish Council comment. Even a comment earlier. People, why just a comment? And I recall I was trying to defend him. Like people make comment when I'm on basis to it, you know. I try to find him comment, but they make a comment a while ago. He basically says, what he's trying to say is I don't act speed. I'm going to try to find his comment. Because he didn't say not calling because we are prejudging. Nobody not prejudge 9 out. You never said it this plain when speed on your platform. So I think I've said a lot of things plain either when speed is here or on other people's platform. I was on Management platform on Thursday. Go watch the program, Paris Council. Then come talk to me, Paris Council. Go watch the program with Management show when I went on the show. And Speed and I wouldn't even call it a confrontation. We had some disagreement. You go watch the Paris Council, then come talk to me. Otherwise, I can't respond to you. If you watch it and then you have a different view about this, then we can have the conversation. Because I don't think about us beat people. I mean, I don't beat people, but I respond in kind in different situations. So go watch that show and come talk to me, Parish Council. Otherwise, we can't have the conversation with you. Both when we're playing or not. Like I don't know what this supposed to be. Good evening. Good evening.
Good.
Hello.
Kranky, how are you? Hi.
I'm good. You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Yeah, you probably got a call back. You're breaking up. We can't hear you well.
No, I'll try that.
All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that call wasn't good. No, I didn't see the Dwight York interview. I heard he mentioned that he was a candidate, but I didn't see the interview. That may be the case. Yeah, look. Interesting before the game observation. Look, I am not trying to create conflict with anyone. That's not my objective, people. I'm not trying to create a conflict with Rudolph, anybody from the JFF. I'm just saying what's on my mind.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Who's this? Am I speaking?
This is Kendall Morkery. I'm calling from St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm good.
What do you say?
If I drop out is because telecommunications here not 100% since Hurricane Barrel.
Yeah, I heard. How are you guys doing anyway? Before we jump into football, how are you guys doing? Because I know it was a bad situation for St. Vincent.
Yeah. Well, I am living in Beckway, which is one of the Grenadines islets. We had damages, but lower in the southern Grenadines, which is Union Island, Canawan, Petit Martinique. Well, Petit Martinique is Grenada, but still we consider our neighbors. Petit St. Vincent, Palm Island, Kenawan is it's dire, to be honest. Union Island is like 98%, 97% need to be rebuilt. Yeah. So it's a pretty sad situation. In Union Island, for example, the debate right now is how they're going to structure school, because the school down there is gone, hospital gone, airport damage. As I say, probably 97% of roofs gone. Electricity has to be rebuilt from scratch because all the poles are rooted out and stuff like that. So it's pretty tough, to be honest.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Well,
Yeah.
sorry for the situation there, and hope things improve. And I hope you guys are getting the international help that you deserve.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of aid, a lot of private NGOs as pitching organization. Well, you know, down in the Southern Grenadines, Kanawan is a kind of Mustique is marketed for millionaires and billionaires. So some of them have donated a lot of cash and helping with the rebuilding.
Right.
Is there, for example, in Kanawan, they have 2 construction company. They're doing a really good job down there. Kanawan.
So Carla, do me a favor. Can you call me
Yeah.
back tomorrow at this same number? I'm starting a show because I want to make sure this is. First I'll say this. I empathize, sympathize what happened with you, but it's a sports program. I have another program tomorrow, Monday, where I want to talk about things like these. I want a much more in-depth perspective on what's happening in St. Vincent and that area, and we can have much more dialogue about it, right? You can give me much more lowdown about what's happening, challenge you're facing, what help you're getting, things of that nature. It's called Uncensored Views is the name of the channel.
Okay.
Where I'm gonna talk about these things. But
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you up and say what you're saying here is not appropriate or the right thing. So to make sure we have a forum where you get enough time to talk about this.
Yeah, sure. But I want to touch base quickly because I follow you guys pretty closely.
Okay.
The different YouTubers from Jamaica, and I really enjoy it because it keeps us informed. With the U-20, I think I spoke about it already. The quota system, as we know, is just a way to give players, the younger players, locally international caps so they could get these caps. So when they're ready to go out on contract, this is part of the deal. That's just the honest truth.
But you don't have that. Do you have a problem in your location where you may have players from overseas who, by a merit standpoint, should be national team, but they're displaced by local players because you want to give them cap? Do you have the same situation?
No, we don't have a quota. I was on the U-20 coach of St. Vincent.
Okay.
Once. And I'm telling you, I'd be happy if I could have gotten some overseas-based players. In fact, we went to a playoff. Jamaica was in our group.
Right.
When we went to the second round, Jamaica beat us at home 2-0, I think. I can remember Andrew Blake was in that team when they came to St. Vincent. So Donovan was the coach. So they went on to the final round, but we went to a playoff with Honduras. We lost, I think, 2-1 to Honduras after we were leaving 1-0 up to 74th minute, and we had a plan if we got to 75th minute and we were leading 1-0 what we'll do, but we lost our captain to a red card.
Okay.
But let me don't go into that. The point I'm making, I had one overseas-based player in that team from England, and I wish I could have gotten more. It's a situation where the best players need to play, but Jamaica obviously have their model for their reasons. But from a country's point of view, my thing is you need the best players to play to qualify. Now, how do you find your best players is up to how each coaching system and department set up their scouting and things like that.
Right.
I know I scored a lot even when I was the head coach at St. Vincent in 2019. So I did my best to find overseas-based players. But we are not as fortunate as you guys because our immigration law said we have to have a direct parent. We don't go second generation, third generation.
You need
So
to change
it's
your
first
law. You need to
generation.
change your laws.
Yeah, well, I went lobbying for a change of law, being honest. Yeah, I went lobbying as the head coach for a change of law so we could broaden our pool.
Right.
But to get to the quality of, for example, youth players, we have the same issue here in St. Vincent where people think the young players here are good. But for a coach like myself who have knowledge of the European market and what you need to be a top player, the players are far from being top. Yes,
Right.
we have talent, but talent is available all over the world. It's not just St. Vincent, not just Jamaica. And you said it right. I always said our best quality is our physical, our athleticism. You understand? So I used to work on that. But to stick to the topic, I mean, in Europe, for example, let's use Spain. Spain is rated as having the best set of technical players for a reason. In their economies, they were doing 15 hours training per week. That was their rule. You have to do no less than 15. And that is not just on the field. That's contact. So it could be gym, it could be classroom, and so on. Let me use England as another example. England were doing like 11 hours. They went and studied the German system. They went to study the Spain system. They went and studied the Portugal, the Italian system. And they brought their hours up to 12 plus. And then they changed their model and had something called the future game. Now it takes time. It took them about 4 years before they start winning the U-17 Euros, the U-20 Euros. That was a change of model, putting in more hours. I said that to say, I don't know how much the local Jamaican players are doing. Somebody on your show probably could give an indication in the chat. If you're not doing these hours, it doesn't make any point. These players are not going to get to the elite level. That's just one part of the puzzle. Second part of the puzzle, you need top coaches, which I think they're working on now from all the way down. As you know, U9 is all the way up, even younger.
Right.
Then you need the other stuff, you need the capital, which the JFF seem to not have, but could do better at their job. Then you need a clear concept, how you're gonna play, your philosophy, and you need profile and matrix for each player in the position they're playing at different age group. It's just like aerobic when you're going to university and college, or your lecturer is gonna mark your paper, or you're gonna get each set of grades add up to 100. This is what you need. And I met a lot of coaches around the region. They don't understand these things. They don't know what they want from, say, right center back in build up, in transition from defense to attack. If you're doing high block, mid block, low block, and vice versa. They don't know, and we need the education to step up to a level. And they are now working on that because they realize it. Trinidad, Jamaica, some other places are working on that. But it's not a simple process as people think. It's gonna take time, but it's a process we can do. But the hardest part is, can our people, can our local people who are in charge of the football, can our fans, can our local coaches accept that we have all these shortcomings and we need to start to step and go towards what we're doing. Because in St. Vincent, that's the problem I'm having here. The coaches don't want to accept they are not at that level. They play locally, you win locally, you get local bragging rights, and you think that's it. So, last example, St. Vincent, for example, our champions go to the Caribbean Shield. We have never gotten past, none of our clubs have never gotten past the first round of Caribbean Shield. Never. That's a testament to show how local football is not at standard. I went to the Caribbean Cup myself with my local club. I warned them that it's not local league and what we needed to do to get out of the group. When we went to Antigua, we got I think we got 4 or 5-1 from a Haitian team. We draw 1-1 with the Antiguan team, and then we lose I think 3-0 to a Suriname team. And the players then realize, okay, I realize what you were talking about. No, I told you before, but they don't understand what is required. See these players on TV, they think these players just got to that level just like that. So that's my contribution for now, because I know you have a lot of call. I could go deeper into things, but maybe some other time.
Yeah, we appreciate the call. And I'm remembering, I mentioned tomorrow, if you want to, because I really do want to understand what's transpiring in St. Vincent, some of the challenges you're facing, and what anyone can do to help the country, because I know the country's been devastated. And I know that help is probably needed in that region. So I don't have a time for my program yet. I'm going to throw it out there. I'll probably do a video first just to get some people to subscribe first and then do a live. But it's called Uncensored Views, and I'll be dropping it tomorrow. So hope you can join.
Yeah, I'll see it. I'll look for it when you drop it.
All right.
I'll be available, God's grace. I don't have training in the evening. I only have youth training in the morning. So
okay.
Yeah, I'll be free.
All right, Vince. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, thanks. Yep, that was former coach for St. Vincent. I think I've heard him on Coach's Desk actually in some of the discussion. Very informed. I think he got his training, a lot of his training in Europe, actually, coaching training in Europe, and have good perspective on football and what's required and the challenges faced by the Caribbean. But they have bigger problems in St. Vincent, just given how devastated the earthquake, Beryl, I should say. Sort of destroyed a lot of the country. I think there was 90% of the buildings in certain areas were damaged or destroyed. So I'm glad to hear they're getting international help and hope it continues. It's almost like rebuilding a country, as you know. It's a lot of people work hard and have their property being destroyed or damaged. So it's very difficult for them, but glad you could call in. All right, people, I've been on here for 2 hours. If you want to call in. I see TikTok. So TikTok. I see you on another program, TikTok. I mean, no, so you have JFF affiliation. So who are you, TikTok? Are you a member of the JFF board? Where do you sit? Because you defended JFF vehemently all the time, like 24/7. You cannot be an outsider. You have to be an insider. The JFF does nothing wrong for you. They're always done really well. They do their best. They have great people. But you're the only one I see, frankly, in these forums that consistently never say the JFF does things which are not right. So here's a question for you, TikTok. You think it's okay for the JFF to discriminate against overseas-born players and to be what they're doing is contrary to the Constitution and Jamaica Constitution? Do you think that's okay? Let me know, TikTok. I'm curious. Let me know. I'm curious if you agree with what they're doing which is unconstitutional, both for their own purposes and for the JFF. So that's that perspective. TikTok suggests that we don't support Jamaica. Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, Kranky, you hear me all right?
I'm hearing you. Who am I speaking to?
Yardi.
Yardi, good evening. Yeah. Good evening, Yardi. How you doing? How you doing? What do you have to say, Yardi? You beat me. So boy, I'm now open the line. So the line open now. Floor is yours, Yardi. Right. Floor is yours.
Yeah. I realize. So it's good connecting with you for the first time, you know. But
appreciate the call.
Yeah, man. Don't intend to be a bore, but I'm not very knowledgeable about how the system works down there. You know.
You mean in Jamaica? You mean in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't get into the weeds with that. Maybe you can explain how they think, because I don't understand how they do things. So, me, you know, if I had the power, I would develop my own youth system in the U.S. and at each age level, and challenge the JFF at each youth level with my team if I had the power. Just to prove my point about my philosophy and how things should be done. And I think there are people out there who have the resources to do such things.
Yeah, but I don't think we have to go that direction. I do think, look, as a people, just as black people, I say this, we're challenged. We're disenfranchised. No, having said that, sometimes people say, well, we have all the black people doing well. Yeah, but most of us don't do well. Most black people don't do well. We don't. That's my channel tomorrow, Uncensored Views. But let me just say this. Going back to the football. In football, I think the objective should be to work as a collective to achieve a objective, right? So whatever players are in the world, you find ways to incorporate them into your system in some way, shape, or form, whether remotely or in close proximity, and you pick the best players. But if you don't create a community where people feel valued and we feel like we are all one, you'll never have that. If you're trying to have demarcation, a clear line between what we call us and them, so those in Europe, those in America, those in Jamaica, those in Canada, and you do your own thing, you will never have that camaraderie. You will never have that cohesiveness. What you're going to have is chaos, which is what we have now, I feel.
All right, but it is a reflection of our culture, though. I mean, let's see our eating habits. Some people like ital. Some people eat pig. Some people eat fish alone and then call them pescadorian. This is it's a reflection of our thought process. It's like we're picking at the bones, but yet we still have to provide nutrition to the body, which is the football body, right? Everybody have them tastes, right? There is room for different points of view about how a team should be developed, and you should still be able to incorporate those different points of view into your team depending on your opponent, because each coach might think that certain things are important to face to achieve their philosophy of how football should be played. I think there's room enough to allow those different systems. I think that, I mean, if you look at the big teams, they're able to successfully incorporate different ideas in their professional players because they're getting coached by different systems. Right? So we don't have to be picking bones every time something goes wrong. The fact remains, we have to realize our position. With the game today, it's like you're going up against an unknown, which is the American system, because they don't think we have a scouting system to know how the coach is gonna set up his team to play against us. But we know their philosophy about how things are gonna go. They're gonna press you. They're gonna press you hard, and you have to know how to handle that pressure, right?
Yeah.
We showed that in first 2 minutes we're down 2-0. Obviously the coach did not respect the attacking prowess of this American team, right?
Right.
And you have to turtle up yourself sometime. We don't have to. There's a saying: "Is it better to be a grower or a shower?" It's like sometimes you don't have to prove that you're as big a man as the next man. You have to wait and see whether or not you can compete. So you protect yourself, right?
Right.
You get into a shell, protect yourself, see what the opponent has coming at you, try to absorb all that pressure, build the confidence in your team, because obviously we had too many turnovers in the game. It's like there's an obvious disconnect between the defense and the midfield, right? Because we're getting too strung out against the press, and we can't complete a proper pass. So these are the aspects of the game that we need to work on, so that we can achieve something positive. But now to have a 9-0 result now, it just destroy everybody's confidence. I mean, it just make the whole program pointless. When obviously there are good kids on the team, but now you just break them spirit with that. It's like everybody start jump on them now, say, you know, what is the JFF doing? But you see, one coach can just destroy everybody else's work. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, understood. So from where you sit,
yeah,
does this team look like they can recover and play well against Costa Rica and play well against Cuba?
Yeah, I think so. But if he never mind, and we can hope for the best in that regard.
Right.
But in a one-off now, I mean, it's just big news.
Yeah.
You can't live that down in your professional career. You know, these kids want to be something, you know, and they have a 9-0 next to your name. That's not good. I mean, but you know, I'm not here to wring your ears too long. I'll let somebody else talk.
No, I appreciate the call, but I am. The thing that is interesting about a lot of conversation I've had with people subsequent to the end of that game is people are just frustrated, that they're upset, they're frustrated, and they want heads to roll. No heads will roll, because that's not what happens with Jamaica football. Same people run it, or always give Davey run it. So how do you think we can fix this going forward? Do you have any proposed solution?
Well, we have to see what he does in the next 2 games.
Okay.
You have to get him a chance. He made a big mistake today, obviously. You know, I know you're coming from the corporate environment where, you know, it's performance-based, so it would seem. I come from the corporate scene too, but, you know, unless you have bucketive, it's not that exactly what do you call it, a level playing field.
Right.
So I believe in giving people a second chance. So
okay,
we'll see what he does.
Well, let's hope he does what the next. Look, I expect him to play better. But I'm not totally optimistic about the outcomes. I don't think it's going to be 9 for either game, because I think the U.S. is the class of the tournament. So let's see what happens. I won't make any prediction about outcome, but let's see what happens. But I appreciate the call.
Yeah, man. Next time.
All right.
Have a good day.
All right, Yadi. Thanks. So that was Yadi, people. Where are we now? 6:30. I'm going to do a few more minutes, and then I know somebody asked me to drop the link for my other channel. I was trying to find the link, people. I'm struggling, so I'll just see me here talk to Yadi. I was trying to find the link in the meantime. I got to find the link and then drop it someplace. Maybe I'll drop it here, even though the program will be completed. But if you want to call in, we'll close the program out in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I appreciate you coming on to join me. As I say, it was sort of more of an impromptu type program. I was here doing some stuff, thinking about my next channel, and decided that, you know what, given that I got so many requests for the under 20 game, people were asking me, are you going to talk about it? You need to talk about it. So I figured I'd come on and have a discussion. Not sure that will change anything. And as someone mentioned earlier, I'm open to my own terms. How would the JFF respond to some of the things that I'm saying? I have no idea. I'm not going to say I don't care, because somebody chastised me today about me using that term, I don't care. So I'm going to say, I'm going to use something and say, wait and see. So TikTok is responding to me saying he's talking utter nonsense, because he's conflating what happens in the U.S. with the historical affirmative action with what Jamaica is doing. So, and he's saying there's prejudice and hypocritical. Everybody has some hypocrisy in them someplace. TikTok, yours is extensive. Here's why. You're saying affirmative action in the U.S., where Black people have been disenfranchised, discriminated against, ostracized, killed, basically. And they're trying to have some remedy in terms of giving people a chance to catch up, is equivalent to in Jamaica with footballers, where overseas players are denied their rights to play for the national team. And you're trying to compare and contrast the two. Utter nonsense. Where did the overseas-based players who are Jamaican and Jamaican heritage, how did they benefit from discrimination in this situation here? You're talking utter nonsense. But you can't see your nonsense because you are part of the JFF. Utter nonsense. You're conflating two things which makes no sense. That comparison, and I heard you said that before about equity. Where's equity? Where's the reason for equity? Where's the equity? Where's the equity you're talking about that hasn't been in place? Right? Where's the diversity that need to be? It's all black people you're talking about. They're all black. They're all kids. They all play football. What has been? How did they discriminate against Jamaica to allow for this equity to need to be put in place? That's why your analogy makes no sense, and you can't buy into it because, as I said before, you're not objective. You're not independent. What fun? TikTok? What are you talking about? Senior players come out with fun. How much? A lot of times the JFF hasn't played these players. These players just play because they love a country. TikTok, what are you talking about? These players don't command no funds. They generate funds for the JFF. When JFF was making money, they don't play the players. That's why the players struck at one point. I have no idea what you're talking about, TikTok. You live in your own little TikTok world. You have a TikTok world you're living in. It's nonsense you're talking. A lot of times these players, look, I'm not going to talk about what I said to talk to players about, but let's just say I don't understand what you're talking about, TikTok. You're talking as the players take all the money that's earned by the JFF, and therefore there's no money to trickle down. That's nonsense. 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 You're in TikTok world. Sorry. No, I'm not new to Jamaican football, TikTok. You're talking nonsense. Well, how have those kids that are trying to play for Jamaica, that we have quota, disenfranchise these players? I don't understand. TikTok, do you know that a lot of kids who come play for Jamaica are underprivileged kids in the UK? However they come from? Do you know the background of those kids in playing in the UK? Have you been to where they live? Have you been to the council houses? TikTok? Do you know where Ravel come from? TikTok? Because you're there espousing views as if you know everything about everything. Do you know? How are they disenfranchised and how do they have any connection with Jamaica and they've been disenfranchised? Not because you see these kids, some of these kids playing academy in the UK, mean they come from this privileged background. I keep telling you, you're talking utter nonsense. I'm going to call you up when you talk nonsense because you're talking utter nonsense. You have no idea what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about. And it's frustrating hearing people like you espouse these views about your support for quotas where you don't understand the fundamentals of what informs that. When you come to me with rational argument, I'll be wide open and listen to what you're saying. When it's utter, I was going to say garbage, but I promise not to be harsh with my language. Let's just say your perspective needs work. I have no problem with criticism. I have no problem with people saying things which may not oppose to what I'm saying, so long as the argument is logical and the analogy you use doesn't make any sense. TikTok, they're not greedy. What are you talking about? It's what is in the contract with the JFF. It was Rudolph who said they have contractual with the players, but what they should get. What do you mean? They should sit in coach and with their legs all hooked up, so when they get to games, they're tired and they're cramped up and they have. What are you talking about, TikTok? They're asking for what everybody else asks for, and they ask for what they used to, by the way. Well, TikTok, TikTok, we saw what happened when we have players go to the game before a game, they get 9-0. That's what you see. Yeah. I have no idea what TikTok talking about. No. That's his. See his comment there, Jason Gunner. That's his comment. He's saying players are paid not on time. They are owed. The senior demand charters, 5-star hotels and likes. They are greedy. They're not greedy. Everybody want that if they can get it. They're not greedy, and they make the federation money. How do you think the federation is coming out of this debt? Where do you think the money come from? Who qualified for Nations League? Who qualified for Copa America? Who winning the World Cup qualifying game? The same players you're talking about. The other teams are not making any money. They ain't making any money. The women team may make some money from the World Cup qualification. And even there, the women had a fight with the JFF. What we just came off TikTok where they had major fight with the JFF. Major fight which divided perspective, divided the people and fans. Come on, TikTok, man. You can do better than that TikTok. You come across as a smart person, but what you don't seem to realize is you lack awareness about your views and how you come across. If you come on here and say you've been objective and you haven't been biased and you haven't been parochial in your views, then you lack awareness, TikTok. I'm sorry I have to call you out. You lack awareness. Because if I go back to all the views you have made on YouTube, there's a theme to your views. It's all about the JFF being right. It's all about the JFF. It's contra players, contra and everything else. It's pro JFF. And there's nothing wrong with being pro JFF. If given from where you sit, things view that way to you, but at least leave some room to say, you know what, I'm not as objective as I want to portray myself to be when I respond to criticism. That's what I'm saying. You come across as being a very smart person. Can't deny that, but you're not objective. In fact, you and objectives see each other, you're walking in opposite direction. That's the way I view it. I don't see where you're objective, TikTok. I'm sorry. Can't see it. And it can be where everybody's wrong, TikTok. And I've tried TikTok over the last, since I started my channel, I have tried my best to be a conciliatory, to rethink how we approach the JFF, to make sure that we're being objective as possible, even though I'm sure my views may be skewed in some way, shape, or form. I have told people on my channel, or I've asked them on my channel, since I told them, to manage how they communicate their language in terms of not being harsh. But having had some discussion more recently with a JFF member and having seen what just transpired recently, I'm telling you, it's hard to do. You have to beat yourself up to be positive in the JFF. You have to beat yourself up. Beat yourself up. TikTok, first of all, European countries have money, so they're not to be right about. And European countries have problems, TikTok. Go look at the Spain women. Go look at Ireland women, okay? There's problems across federation. We're not saying that. There's problems across federations. A lot of them, by the way, especially with the women's game. But don't tell me they don't gripe about things. Not because they don't come to the public domain and gripe about it. They gripe about things. And in Africa, pure, let me tell you on TikTok, manage my word. Once I pure garbage I talk. Let's just say you're ill-informed about Africa. Go look at Cameroon. Go look at Kenya. Go look at any African country, they have a problem. Nigeria, all of them have problems. So I don't know what you talk about TikTok. I don't know what you talk about African country. Yes, there are people like Mani who give back to their community and sacrifice themselves for the larger good. But all of them have problems with their administration. No, you don't give it all to your players. I don't buy that. How do you think the JFF are smile nowadays and pay their own debt? No, I don't agree with that. I don't give all the money. Okay, you know what? TikTok? TikTok, here's what we should do. Since you're so informed, TikTok, and you have intention, come on this channel, provide evidence to substantiate your arguments. Show us where the JFF source of revenues are and where they spend their money, and show us the percentage of the money that they spend in relation to how much the team make and the ratio of what's spent on players to revenues generated and the rest of the expenses. Please bring the evidence. That's why you don't hear me calling anybody corrupt on my program. I have no evidence, TikTok. Bring the evidence, TikTok. Bring the evidence. If you're going to bring certain claim TikTok, you got to bring evidence. You can't come on here and say the players eat up all the money, take up all the money, and use all the money, and then we can't see evidence to substantiate the position. And that's how life works, TikTok. And that's how life works. I don't think you're right. I think you're wrong. Bless up WeMax. Hey, WeMax, boy, I'm beat you. Hey, WeMax. Have to get some beating, WeMax. WeMax, you have to get some beating. Hey, WeMax, first of all, you have to come on my program one day, WeMax. Hey, people, me call out WeMax now. WeMax say you want to debate me. Come debate me for my program, WeMax. Any day you're ready, anytime. And here's the thing, WeMax, come here, call you out. You pick the subject, you pick the time, you pick the position. Me, I'll go contrary WeMax to my position for debate you. I tell you that right now. So people, me hear me call out WeMax for my program. When you hear me call out WeMax, him can pick the subject. Him can pick the position he want to take. And me take the opposite, even me not believe in it. and we can debate, and we can be the judge people. We Max, we drop the mic on you. TikTok said, we drop the mic on you, we Max. Come talk to me, we Max. And by the way, Max, we can do the fun thing with we Max. Cause the other day, I say fans now support the team, right? And you take the opposite and you beat me on your channel now. With your fan, with your comment them and you beat me. Cause I say the fan them wrong. If the fans them wrong and you beat me. So we have a challenge, people. Me will debate with Banks on my channel and him debate me on Theme channel. Here we go do it. We make it fair. Me pick the subject on my channel, me position, him do the same on Theme channel, and we debate. I'm asking for volunteer. Me I pick up Jason Guna as one. We want about 5 volunteers to be judges, and we come up with a time and place. Me I call you out Emax. We'll debate this. We'll do it over a 2-week period or 2-day period. So me I call it from now. We need about 5 judges for the debate people. Me I pick one topic. In fact, you know what? Me I pick the fun one. Me I do it right now. Me I do it off the top of my head. Me I pick the fun. When me say the fun them wrong, them not support the team. I'm a wagoness. And you have pick the other side. Now you come up with your one, VMAX, and we can talk about it. We don't beat you, VMAX. But VMAX, I appreciate it being here, by the way. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining. I know it's late your time, so thanks for joining. I appreciate it. You could be doing something else on a Sunday with your family, so thank you. Yeah, before the game. Well, look, I think you should debate anyone no matter what their position. If people are debate Trump, you can debate anybody. If you are debate Trump, you can debate anybody, people. May I tell you the truth? So yeah, we can debate. We can debate people. I have no problem debating WeMax and or debating Mr. JFF TikTok. Because me not care what TikTok wants to say. Me think he hears a JFF plant. That's what I say. Well, heavy topic, VMAX. We need time for that one day. Which position you take? We need time for that one day. That one I kind of hard to take a side pan, you know. But you come up with your topic, VMAX, and just pick your side and we pick the other side. And we do the other one with fun. Because the fun, not fun on your side, no, VMAX. So you have people in your corner already. You have to tell them, so the fun them, now support the football the right way. And you're saying the opposite side of that. So we should debate that one on my channel any day you want. And then we can debate what other topic you come up with. That's an interesting one, discrimination in sports, because it's pervasive. We see Argentina more recently. We see it when Real Madrid, Vinicius Jr., we see it across the board. It's so prevalent, it's ridiculous. I didn't talk about it. So it's interesting. Yeah, man. It should be interesting to be it. Yeah, Max, that's the case, you know. We do have a xenophobic culture. I don't know if we have a xenophobic culture, or is it just in the football? People can tell me that, actually. I don't know if it's a xenophobic culture or because some people want to achieve certain objective and them achieving their objective may be derailed or there's barriers because of, you know, challenges from overseas, then they all come together and find ways to prevent it from happening. So, yeah. And I'm taking the side of Jamaica local being xenophobic. Yeah, I don't know why we operate as we do as a people in certain quarters and certain areas. I'm always saying, first of all, I don't understand why people are prejudiced. Well, I don't understand why people discriminate. I can never get that out of my head. Like, why does a Caucasian doesn't like a black person, or an Indian doesn't like a black, or a black doesn't like a I never understand that, people. Especially when fundamentally we're the same, except our colors may be a little bit different and some of our features are different, right? We're not like lions and tigers. We're human beings, all of us. So that concept eludes me, and that need for human beings to be dominant eludes me. But we should all be trying to maximize our time on this earth, enjoy ourselves, support our family, support our friends, operate as human beings, and that's what I want to talk about on my channel, actually, my other channel, which I'm trying to find the link. People, I can't find it. It looks like the link must have lost. I found the link on my iPad. I can't find it on my iPhone, which makes no sense. But maybe if I drop a video, maybe I'll do a 10-minute video as an introduction, and then it'll be out there. Maybe that's a better way to do it. But I'll do that. But I'll make sure I do that tomorrow morning, and maybe in the evening I come on and do a show for an hour or so to start off with. But I'm sure. But I think that channel is gonna be hot, people. All you need to subscribe to that channel. It's gonna be. I don't have the link now, but I'm gonna drop the link. It's gonna be called Uncensored Views. I tried to set it up last night, so hopefully it's up and running. But I'll be out there tomorrow with some videos. But Uncensored Views is exactly what it says. Can't control me. No say what I want to say. And I'll get myself in that trouble, but that's how life go. I'll get in that trouble sometime. Mr. J saying, no, Jamaica soccer team shouldn't be losing by more than 2 to 3 goals against any team in CONCACAF. We put the best players on the field. If the quality players are available, why not use them? I agree with that, Mr. J. By the way, Mr. J, thanks again for that super chat. I'll say this actually. If you notice in the Euro, people, and obviously all those teams qualify for the Euro, nobody not get no big beat, apart from Scotland get 5 and then recover the subsequent game. Nobody not get no 6 and 7, 8 and 9, 10 love, Slovakia, Slovenia, and look a small team there. Everybody get better because everybody's investing in their football program. And if they go to a game and they overmatch, they change their strategy. Them go counter-attack or some semi-low, not fully low block. Them change them strategy. Them can't play with you. Them can't outball you. So you know what? We'll converge. We'll make ourselves compact, make ourselves hard to beat. We played the other day. Man, them have with 2 love in the first 6 minutes, 3 love in the first whatever minutes, and we still try to play the same way. We change nothing except change some people. First game ever watching a long time, people. I see 2 change in the first 38 minutes of the game. I've seen Conte make some change in the first 38 minutes, not 2. I've seen Marina do some of those things. We made about 3 or 4 changes by halftime, people. And nobody never injured. It's amazing. And we're not changing nothing on the field. I found that utterly ridiculous. You didn't change your formation. You didn't change your structure. You didn't change your well, we're not a style of player, so I can't say style of player. You just never changed nothing. You know, you know what? 5 at the back. You know what? 7 at the back. And 3 are not stand in front of them. Because we don't want to get 10 today. Because we still want to qualify. So if we get 4 love, we can still have a chance. No, sir. We just play the same way during the entire game. Just put on more people. Because we said the other one them now work. Crazy. DJ Exquisite, me I call him. Kranky, let me max football. Is it possible for people to have some sort of xenophobia without even knowing it? Yeah, it's possible. It come out in their actions a lot of times and in their thoughts, but it's possible. You may think that you're not, but it's like racism, right? You may think you're not a racist, but you don't realize that given your teachings, given how you grow, given how you inform, you have certain view, perspective, and you do certain actions, which may be racist in nature, and you don't realize that you do. So a lot of people always say, I have a black friend before they get to racism. I have a black friend, so that makes it okay. They don't realize that they have catered off their black friend because he may be in a certain category. He may have certain educational achievement like they do, but the rest of the people who are not like him, who may be black, they don't view him a certain light. So they carve out certain people. They don't realize how they are. That's possible. She said with the coach, the under 20 has 9 of was not bad. Yeah, I don't think the coach helped them. Look, I don't want to beat the coach because I think if you give them a basket to carry water, things gonna happen. Bless up WeMax for the €5 chat. That more than that, people. So if you mention the $5 times 1.09 more money. Thank you, WeMax. I appreciate that. WeMax showing the love today. Hey, people, he bottom me up for the debate because him saying, beat me now. I bottom me up, but that's him I do now. But me appreciate it. I'm gonna be ungrateful. WeMax, we appreciate it. Appreciate the support the channel. Bless up. No, you can't lose faith in people, WeMax. Your job, given that you have a platform, a forum, if you can convince one person to change their perspective, that's a good deal. You can't lose faith. If you lose faith, I shut down the channel already. Because sometimes you engage some people, you're just like, and people are just different. So you can't do that. Yeah, I would try to convince people to be better. Oh, so TikTok is saying not an insider, but I should follow Manning's man. I have no comment on this. As I said before, people, and I've said this before, I am not going to critique or comment on any of the people that I have associations with in terms of friends. Because the difference between friends and associates. So I see TikTok comment. Manning's man is Manning's man. That's not me. And my views, I believe, a lot of times are not irrefutable. It's based on what I see and what the JFF does. So you see me arguing on Manning's Man program the other day with Rudolph about certain things. It's not debatable. The quota is not debatable. How much pain of achieving football is not debatable. What we haven't achieved is not debatable. I try to be as more. Some things are subjective and qualitative, but I try to be as factual as possible, where it's allowed to substantiate my position on anything. Except when I'm debating Remax, because a lot of things are going to be subjective. It's going to be who make the better argument. And Remax, I'm going to prepare for you. I'm not going to just go wing it. I'm not going to wing nothing with you, Remax. As we get the topic, I prepare. So, yeah. DJ Gigs is saying, Kranky Live, the name pronouns gigs like the gig when them player used to play with the card of Jamaica. The name pronouns. Oh, it's gig. Okay. You know what I mean? Kind of slow sometime in the gig. So the Z throw me off. I understand gig in Jamaica, but the Z throw me off. So, can you say, is it gig Z exquisite or is the Z silent? I don't know. Before the game, there is nothing. If we must give me $1 million, me still not drop my guard. Nothing we must get me drop the guard. Nothing. No, he must say me need help. So I give me all the help me can need, because him done threat me for wax me and say him beat me every single time we engage. And he will wax me. So me take the challenge. Nothing I try about me. No, man. He just being generous. Because I have money now, so I need it. So him understand where the need is, and he trying to supply the need, and I appreciate that. And now about me. I'm very confident now. I'm more confident until we debate people. And then the confidence will be lost. But that's what normally happens. People I debate are confident. I mean, we'll get some grief from people because people say, Kranky, you're elite, you think you're this, you think you're so smart. We get them thing that, even though me have banter with people sometimes. But we can't take that kind of pressure. I don't really care. But no, I'm looking forward to debating Remax, It should be a 3-part series. Hey, Jason Guna, where do this Jason Guna? Let's do this right here. So Jason Guna, here's what we're going to do. I'm trying to, and Remax, let me agree with this. We're going to do 3 debates because you always have to, because he may win one. That's because anything is possible in life, right? Because we know this may be like a boxing match. Boxing matches, you can't trust the voters. But anyway, we're going to try to get some objective voters. So here's what we're going to do, people. We'll do one on my channel, we'll do one on his channel, and we'll do one on Jason Guna's channel. Yeah, Jason? We'll do one on your channel. So we'll do 3 people, because you always have to have 3 if you have to have a decider. You can't just do one debate. Kind of tell you nothing. So we're going to have 3 debates, one on my channel, one on Remax channel, and one on Jason Guna's channel. I will pick the one for my channel, the topic. He will pick one on this topic, and then Jason Guna, you'll pick the one, decide. It may not be the decider, because he may win the first 2. Win the third one on your channel, Jason. If it's needed. So if he wins the first 2, I win the first 2, we don't need a third one, unless people want it. Right? So we'll do 1-1. So Remax, do you agree to that structure? Whoa. I don't view Jason as a biased. So who would be biased too? If anything, Jason gonna go against me because I hate to tell you this, people, but Jason and I had a how do I call it? We had a debate contest in the form of DJ. And somebody won. I don't know who won, but somebody won. Anyway, so I don't think Jason is biased. Why would Jason be biased to me? I'm a debate I've had. Umza, how much debate have I had that give me a chance to win? I've had more than one debate, by the way, Umza, in the YouTube space since I've been on YouTube. If you see that comment, so before the game said, Remax cannot announce himself as the winner to win the debate. I agree with that. So they're gonna have some rules to this debate, which is because you say you won doesn't mean you won. Don't be like the former president of the United States, who he only loses the election. No, he never loses the election. If he loses, it's fraud. If he wins, it's all right. Yeah, you can't get Travis moderator. No, you can't get. No. Something wrong with that. You can't get Travis moderator. No. Something wrong. Come on, Jason, man. You can't get Travis moderator. Then he will ban everybody except himself. I don't think he's a hater of you. Jason don't hit nobody. We can't fear for Jason on that. But but him suspect if he might give certain people moderator ability. I agree upon that. All right, our channels. But if we want to do 3 Jason, Remax, how does that work? If we want to do 3, how that work? I wouldn't say I beat up anybody. We had some debate. I think I was declared the winner, if I'm not mistaken. Some people would disagree. When the scores were tallied, I think I was debated the winner. But Remax, you tell me say you're the king. You tell me say you're the king, that means I have a chance in you know what. And I love a challenge. So I hope we have a debate. I hope we do. Up and Running is saying, who were called earlier, by the way, our TD and technical committee want a senior coach and a staff to run our local football, where they train the so-called elite squad every week throughout the year. I don't think they're asking the senior coach to do that now. I think they have someone from FIFA who's supposed to be doing this. I think what they say, the coach you're going to hire, I honestly mean a senior coach, meaning somebody who's senior, who's from FIFA, to do this. I think what they say is for the coach is that the primary goal and secondary goal of the coach is to get the team to the World Cup. That's it. Boy, Travis, have become hardy. Travis, nobody teach you to become soft in anything, Travis. You know what soft means, Travis? You have to just come hard and everything. You can't just even ignore certain things, Travis. People can joke with you sometimes now. Lord. All right, Remax. So we'll do it, Remax, without any one person involved. Hey, Remax, we have to get 5 judges though. So who do you want to be the judges? We want to decide that today, Remax. You can't do it on your channel tomorrow. You can tell us who you want to be the judges. I'll come up with 2. You come up with 2. And then we get somebody independent, because you know that work. But no, we'll try to get 5 independent, 3 or 5 independent judges. Maybe we should just do 3. 5 is a lot. Let's do 3 independent judges, Remax, to do this, because I can't wait to debate you. I cannot wait to debate you. I know Travis, but sometimes Travis, people tell me this and me get beat me this and that. You can't just ignore sometimes Travis, man. You can't ignore Travis. You don't have to respond. You can't ignore Travis. Trust me, you can't ignore. I'm learning that, Travis, by the way. Sometimes I give you know, but you just ignore sometimes. Okay, good. So people, in the future, in some time point within the next month, myself and Remax are going to debate various topics. I hope everyone here can attend, because he has told people on his program a lot of times that he's destroyed me whenever we have a subject that we may not align on. And I can't wait to be destroyed. Good evening. Who am I talking to?
Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Hey, good evening, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Who am I speaking to?
Kaka.
All right, Kaka. What do you have to say, Kaka?
You're based on the subtitle of your video, or the subtitle of the video. Is it that topic you're talking about? Because I just joined. So I was talking about some moderator thing. I don't know.
Oh no, I have been on since 4:00, so we don't talk about that. This is 3 hours in, so you came late. So I apologize for that. No, we spoke about that already. So we spoke to the we talked about that. Yes, I'm almost going to conclude now, because I'm up to 3 hours, which is against my.
Okay. I just joined, bro. Normally we start at 6, so.
No. Today's Sunday. I did a special edition of my program, because I normally do Monday through Thursday, but I did today because people asked me that I could come and talk about the under 20 situation, so I came and talked about it. So no. So you can call back tomorrow if you want to bring up the subject. I'm not opposed to it. I'll be on at 6 tomorrow.
Okay. All right, no problem.
All right, appreciate the call. Thanks.
No problem. Yeah.
All right. Before they get to Kranky, man, football said probably so fact checking is done. Yes, we have to do that, people. We can't be like how I call Trump name. I call it. We can't be like how Trump is in 5 minutes. He may say 100 things and 99 of them wrong. Can't do that. Come on, why not go fight someone? I put the money in company. I'm gonna fight too much. So it's informally what way we max. You inform me, or you say informally? No, Peter Mystic. I've been here since 4:00 Eastern Standard Time. So I've been here for 3 hours. The good thing about this is people come and go. Some people probably go sleep, wake up, and I'm still here. And normally I don't do more than 2 hours. But no, I've been here. We've talked about the topic, which is the junior team, how the junior team has been, how things have worked for them, what was the reason for the debacle that we saw, who is to blame for that debacle. We didn't talk about solutions, actually. It was mentioned in some respects, but not in detail. I may do that tomorrow if I bring up the topic. So yeah. The Kranky, serious question. Why do you explain football like you're reading my bank statement? What does that mean? Elaborate, I don't understand. Why do I explain football like I'm reading a bank statement? I don't understand that. I don't read other people's bank statement. I'm not here to get access to it. That's confidential information. Okay? So then who you make read your bank statement? If they are, don't show them to it. Then probably have your account number upon it. Then normally have the last 4 nowadays. Don't show them your bank statement. So elaborate, I mean, I fully get it. I'm kind of slow today. But you should debate with a certain person. He does the same thing as Trump. Pure option as facts. Right, TikTok can go in hard and then he can't take a lick, Him like lick people and he can't take the lick people. You lick him and him start push back hard for no reason. When him wrong. Yardy stuff say, me will referee, my number and drop a link. Okay, Yardy. Yeah. No. I mean, the debate rules are clear. So we make sure we have clear debate rules. Each person get a chance to speak and provide your perspective for a certain period of time. Each person get rebuttal. No, the debate will be clear. And I'm doing my practical license before the year. I do no coaching license. I do practical license. No, I do no coaching license. Wow. Yeah, those for Jamaica, if the Panama and Guatemala are no good. Must wins when the tax debate. Whenever you want to have the debate, Paris, must win. Must win. See, I beat me the other day in a must win. Think of it, you beat me. What were you beating me about the other day, must win? Because I love them beating in a must win. I love beating, so we can come back. Under 20 is not a junior team. What is it then? What is under 20? I think there's only one senior team in football, and that's the national team. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being educated this evening about what a junior team is versus a senior team. Oh. No, I think he gave us his channel. He's going to say what he wants to say. So, yeah. Bless up John Marley. Why not the IMAX and Kranky Live once a week would be a good show? I'm not sure our timing aligns. He does early morning, given where he's situated, and I do evening because I'm busy sometime in the morning, even though I listen to his program. So, but no, I am all for collaborations. I have no problem with collaborations. Probably take less out of me too. I have to prepare less because I mean to make IMAX, WeMax do all the talking, and the preparation I may just leverage off of him. So we can ad lib. So yeah. So WeMax, someone said we can do collaboration because I did it with my friends in the UK, Apollo and Tony Prejudice Boy. When we did the watch along for Copa and for Euros, the semi-final finals, we combined the two channels, so you could watch it on each channel. Yeah, and it worked really well actually. I don't know how to do it, but maybe they'll ask me to show me how to do it. But WeMax, here's an example. I can get to beat you on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. TikTok, no, I'm picking the wrong TikTok. You love to be wrong and confident. That's a slam. That's a slam. Young and confident. Wrong and confident, I mean. All right, people. If I bring this to closure, I'm there a long time, 3 hours. Me 3 hours. So you want to say this people before I go. And I know I'm supposed to have dropped the channel, people, but I can't find my channel. I set it up, but I can't find it. So And then I find it, I'll drop it in the comment section. So if you go back to it, it should be there someplace. I'm gonna try to drop it tonight before the night is out. My new channel. I have a new channel called Uncensored Views. The channel name speaks for itself. It is holistic. It is broad. There are no barriers except no cursing, nothing derogatory. We're there to talk about life in general. So whether it's we're not doing no sports though. So I'm gonna come here have a sports channel. We'll do criminal justice, social, finance, politics, investing. I may even dive into the relationship thing. You know, I don't know about relationships, but I may even div. Nothing is off limits, people. Nothing is off limits when it comes to that. Right? I did ask the I forgot his name from St. Vincent who came on this evening to call in tomorrow. I'm gonna use the same phone number for talk about what's happening in St. Vincent after Hurricane Beryl. I think it's important for us all to know and to support if we can. So, but our channel has no barriers except we want to be professionals on the channel. I may even dress a little bit differently. I'm thinking about it, but I should, dress differently, dress more corporate. But we'll see where I go with that. I may just stay with where I am, but I won't be having any. I won't be having any cranky live stuff like this on there. We're not doing any of that. I mean, I do the uncensored logo yet, so we'll see how it goes. What's Trevor saying? We Max, not Chris. Boy, I say man can't quarrel this star. I don't understand Travis, Kranky, how much more deals? Oh my God, Clash and so we Max say no one do no collaboration with me because him is a established YouTuber. I'm bring nobody along with him. He want to just clash me, beat me, and done. So you understand? I can live with that. I don't take it personal. No, I'm not versed in Forex actually. I'm not versed in Forex. I mean, in terms of trading the Forex. How Forex works. Which one are you talking about? The young. TikTok boy, go and bully me on YouTube. No time. Bless Tycoon, thanks for joining. All right, people. I've overstayed my welcome. But VMAX, you may post your previous comment. You post your previous comment. That interpret the VMAX. See it? It's subject to interpretation. I want to find your previous comment, VMAX. Okay, here's what you say. How much deals you want, Kranky? Oh my God, cash and done. So what you say, me say, I don't see you say. Me interpret you say, you don't want. That's my interpretation, VMAX. See it? That's my interpretation. We are not afraid to. Oh, okay. Me know you're not afraid to lose. Well, you're afraid to lose. I'm gonna say you're not afraid to lose. I lie to you. You're afraid to lose. So VMAX, what do you mean in VMAX in your previous post? That me post where you say now. See? Me a post where you say and interpret it my way. Hey people, me I die and go to heaven. Me I go heaven, people. Me I go heaven. Me that coming from Travis. Me I go heaven, people. There's no way me not go heaven. Me sorry, me I go heaven. Me I go heaven. Me feel good about myself. Hey, you know what? No, shut the program right now. But Travis, me change Travis' mind. Travis, for me change Travis' mind. Me I go heaven. Me I shut the program right now. Travis just said this, people. I think I have ice cream before he change his mind. Change his mind. If we were against the Kranky Live, clip this to prepare for your debate. So when it comes to debate, people, I tell you the truth. I must admit I'm confident we come to debate. You know why? Even if I don't win the debate, I know me spend time preparing. So when we debate, I know me come with some facts, grounded in facts. If it's going to be factual situation, me put in the work to make sure me come prepared. So if me lose, it's not because I'm not putting in the work, it's because the person just better than me or them argument better than mine. Right? It won't be because, so me can take losing in them case there. When me debate cataract, me spend time, spend enough time do research, Me not just go debate cataract, so because I know cataract know him I talk about. So me used to debate him. Me debate him one time. I think he did the same thing. We spent time researching, getting information, challenging my own arguments to make sure I can stand up to scrutiny. And hopefully it did. So some me think about anything there. If you don't do anything like that, put in the work. So then if you lose, or if you win, you guys say, you know what? I do my best, so I can't complain about the outcome. So long as the judging is fair, because some of the judges, one of them I hear, one of them I watch. So Yeah, it's like, the is Kranky. We love better come correct, but me will put him to sleep and me no polish. No. I like debate. Look, debating are fun, right? People get involved. People get to pick their side. People get to assess your argument and determine whether or not you know what you're making any sense. No, it's a good thing. No, wait, it was flexible like how we play football at Jamaica before the game. We don't play any pattern of play now. We don't have no style of playing. We're just flexible. We play everything and play nothing basically. So yeah, and people, me debate anybody on any subject, and I'm sure I probably lose quite a bit of them, but me not care because I know say then give me enough time to prepare. I'm comfortable in my own skin to say no, I can give them a run for their money. May not win, I can give them a run for their money. Like I think most people can actually. If you spend the time and invest in your argument, in your position your argument the right way, you can give anybody a run. Because there's always two sides to a story. In fact, there's three sides to a story, but in a debate are really two. And people will pick which side them think is a better provide a better argument. Doesn't mean that you're the better debater, you just provide a better argument on that day. Well, then you should then if him say more debate, so if that's the case, then him sure say more win. And him tell me say more smack me, not literally. He say more smack me, so yeah. It's yes, it's for the people, so let's have fun. Yeah, we have fun. Yeah, they are good people. So if him saying and he always tell me saying beat me now. Now he may beat me in prediction, because predictions you can't predict the future. When it comes to debate, then you have to put in work in a debate. And it was hard for him to work me. I put in real work. You know? And plus me have more time for me, I know. Put in real work. I research every little thing. What do you mean? What do you talk about? JD, we can't come to your program. You know what, JD? When you're program tomorrow morning, I forgot my appointment tomorrow morning. But if you're on, you'll come on and you can say the same thing to people in your chat. See? So just to make it fair, Jade, you can tell your people them in your chat, say, we're gonna have a debate. You can, and if you think they will support you because them come on your channel more often, then that may be the case. But me no want no supporters by either channel to be involved in this. I want individuals who I know are unbiased, they have no skin in the game, and they're gonna pick the person based on the arguments. But we're gonna do two things, people. We're gonna have a judge panel pick the winner for each of the debates, because it's gonna be two debates. We're also gonna have those in the comment section also determine who they believe won, and then we can combine the two, right? So it's not only the judges, because somebody may say judges are biased. I believe people are fair enough to pick the winner based on the logic of their argument. So we should do it two ways. So before I go, people, no, BM. If you want to hear this, you have a company sensor tomorrow. We're not talking no politics this evening, people. I'm gonna drop the link, people. I'll look up for the link in the YouTube space. I may do a 10-minute video just to get it out there. I may do it tomorrow morning early just to get it out there, so you can subscribe to the channel, or you can see that the channel is if you don't want to subscribe. Cause you hear me asking like today, people. We cannot start manage that. I say, I don't know what the story is. And those of you who've been here, I don't know what they like is. So if no one like, me appreciate. If no don't like, that's how your life go. So BM, now talk about Kamala today. Now talk about Biden today. Now talk about Kamala today. Now talk about Trump today. And that's the Uncensored channel. And people, that should be a fun channel. So you can't ask your mother and your father and your sister and your brother to come join the kind of sports. Because they like sports. Ask them to join my channel. It's going to be a fair channel, open channel. I'm not going to say unbiased channel, independent unbiased channel, people. We're talking about life in general. Bless up Megatron. Megatron, you come in the show, done. Jason goes, Kamala time. Yeah, we're talking about that thing, man. And why we need to do what we're going to be doing. But I'm not giving another people. I'm not giving another. I have enough juicy stuff to talk about tomorrow. Enough juicy stuff to talk about, me I tell you. In fact, if it's Uncensored channel run more than 2 hours now, because just start jump on topic and people get involved. Because my sister called me today, and she vexed before my company show. All them take out Biden, because she a big Biden supporter, And then we start talk, We'll talk about that tomorrow too. So I drop things for now. We'll talk about what me actually talk about. Long conversation today, people. Long before I come on the show. She vexed. Biden been pushed out supposedly. But we talk about all of that. So people, me carry no one. See me carry no one. With the hey Guna, which song we play? Hey Guna. I mess with Guna. Guna, which song we play? Should I play the reggae boy song or should I play Kranky Live? Let me hear do it. Cause that me take people out with it now. Cause you know, so me like my Kranky Live song, you know, people tell me I can't DJ, I don't really care. Me play the Kranky Live me on video. You see your music people. So people, which one we play? The two minutes drop before me go. Kranky Live or the bar possession song. Tell me. Me drop either one of them. Let me know people. Before me go. Kranky Live. All right. So people not agree with Jesse Guna. If you not hear the song, it's a video of Kranky Live versus so that means that like bar position more than Kranky Live, you know. I get a vote on this. So me have 2 Kranky Live and 1 bar possession. Not the bar. Jeez, not Jason. Me know you know like bar possession, Jason. Let me hear people. Bar possession or Kranky Live. Okay, 2 bar possession song. See there, Jason. People like bar possession. Yeah, we finished long time, but I'm not care. But I'll play about. I'll go with bar position. But me have to play it while I'm still on because there's no video to it, so I can't just use it to close it down, right? So we'll go bar position. Me say we can find bar position and play it before we go people. So I'll play a different version of same version of bar position, but it doesn't have the quota in it. This is a different version. It was the first version I wrote. It does not. It's a shorter one, and it doesn't have quota in it. It doesn't have. I don't think it has. It's a shorter version. Anyway, and play it. You can't hear it. Reggae boys, now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponents yield. But you have to have ball possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. We built a team from far and wide, but them playing like a pickup side. Need to change that style of play. Next coach, do you hear what I say? I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. The team defense is very strong and really puts a foot wrong. But the offense is very meek. In fact, some days it's just plain weak. We need the team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Have to have ball possession cause possession is our obsession. Our team needs to keep the ball, otherwise we are set for a fall. 2026 is almost here, don't want it to be a nightmare. I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Most teams play possession cause possession. So that was the first version. Now this is the second. I know if no one still can't leave, it's the second version. So I didn't finish, but it's the second version. Probably a little bit less gruffy. Reggae boys, now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponents yield. But you have to have ball possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. We built a team from far and wide, but them playing like a pickup side. Need to change that style of play. Next coach, do you hear what I say? I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. The team's defense is very strong and really puts a foot wrong. but the offense is very meek. In fact, some days it's just plain weak. We need the team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Have to have ball possession cause possession is our obsession. Our team needs to keep the ball, otherwise we are set for a fall. 2026 is almost here, don't want it to be a nightmare. I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Most teams play possession cause possession is their obsession. If you haven't got your passport yet, has the quota been met? We need you on board in real time, so get your papers and join the line. We need you to play possession to ensure good ball progression. We want players who play possession cause possession is our obsession. You keep referring to 98 as if achieved just by fate. Need a real strategy on the ground, don't have time to mess around. Need that team to have possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. Work on the team style of play, do so now without delay. Fans don't want a long ball game cause that style of play is very lame. We want the team to have possession to ensure good ball progression. We need a team to have possession cause possession is our obsession. All right, people. It's been a long evening. I'm sure I've blasted your ears enough. but I said this about the song. Me not love the DJ, but me love the words them. So if you can find me a DJ who is very good, who can make this into a song, I'd appreciate it. We can work something out. I think I'm a songwriter, but I'm not a DJ. What are you saying, Yardi? Me go ahead, drop my Dunce check version just those. Yeah. No, look, it's not about, it's about the beat and the words, not necessarily the DJ, right? Because the DJ don't know for DJ. No, we're not playing Jason Guna version. We're not playing Jason Guna version. I am not. I think I caught him at a bad day at the office, so I'm not gonna play his version. Plus, I think in this thing that I have, because I uploaded to StreamYard, the voice is coming out muffled. Actually, it's not how it's on my iPhone. So I gotta revisit how that comes across. It sounds much more muffled, and it doesn't sound clear. Actually, it doesn't make any sense to me. Even though I did it at home, I didn't do it in the studio. But I'm sure I could also improve. But no, I mean, I caught Jason. Jason can DJ. Jason can rap. Yeah, Patrice O'Neal. By the way, people, Patrice O'Neal is my favorite comedian. He died a number of years ago. Go look him up. Brilliant comedian. Brilliant comedian. Funny as heck, but he's a little bit raw and he's a little bit over the edge, but he's a brilliant comedian. He died, I think, from diabetes. It's got to be 6-7 years ago. It's a while ago, but good comedian. Yeah, blame the pitch. No, I think it's a good song. But I think the DJ needs work. And so if any of you out there have classes, I was offered free classes by Jason Gunner, but I declined. I'm sorry, I can be mean sometimes. I declined Jason. I heard Jason DJ'd. I love his rapping, but I heard his DJ skills and I declined his classes. I decided that I'd prefer to go solo and not to have any class because I don't want to get confused when I'm trying to do this DJ thing. So I'm going to go back and listen to my favorite DJ, hear how they generate the words. But I don't have the voice that is versatile enough, actually. No, Patrice died a long time ago. Patrice is a brilliant comedian. I went to see him. I've seen him a number of times live and listen to him. He's on YouTube, though. You can listen to him. Brilliant comedian. So, no, but Patrice is a brilliant comedian. Me not this, Jason. Jason offered a free class, and I said, Jason, I appreciate it. Let me hear you DJ. He DJ'd. He rapped. I'm impressed with his rapping, by the way, people. His verses, how the verses link, his rhyming, his ability to do acapella, and it sound. If you can do acapella and sound good, then you know you have some talent, right? He wasn't even rapping to a song, but when he DJ'd, how do I say this nicely? He needs help. That's all I say. He needs help. Whoa! So just send the rhythm now. So him go practice. Right, so him go practice too. Him go practice because Jason say he was involved in the music business. You know, I was never involved in the music business. I mean, I have no music ability. But not just Jason. Jason knows what I'm saying is the truth. 2011, that long ago. So I date myself people. So 10 years ago, I thought it was like 6-7 years ago. No, a brilliant comedian though, brilliant. He was a writer for comedians and he had to do his own thing. You know those people transition from writing to comedian. Go watch Patrice O'Neal, brilliant comedian. No, VMAX, no VMAX, don't send up VMAX. I think I need work. I know I need work. It doesn't come across good in here. I don't know what happened. It's getting worse and worse. It's like that the voice is fading out and it's very ruffled. That's not what I'm hearing. So maybe it's my hearing wrong. When I play it on my phone, for example, I wonder if I could find it. It does sound different. It doesn't sound the exact same way when I play it on my phone. So I don't know why that's the case. That doesn't make any sense to me because it doesn't sound that way. Seriously, it doesn't. Let's see something. Let me see something. Let me can't hear it. Music session, people. No, can't leave now. Music session, we are doing. Reggae boys, now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponent's skills. But you have to have ball possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. We built a team from far and wide, but them playing like a pickup side. Need to change that style of play. Next coach, do you hear what I say? I need my team to play. So VMAX, we can have a DJ competition too, you know. Yeah, you may VMAX. This is the music, VMAX. Me or rewind VMAX. This is the music. This is the words them VMAX. This is the words them. We can have a writing competition. We can have a DJ competition VMAX. You know me can't DJ. Can we love competition? Me a competition, baby. Okay, yeah, the rhythm sound good, people. The rhythm sound good. See I say? Tell you the rhythm sound good too now. Reggae boys, now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponent's skills. But you have to have ball possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. We built a team from far and wide, but them playing like a pickup side. Need to change that style of play. Dwight York, do you hear what I say? I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. The team defense is very strong and really puts a foot wrong. But the offense is very meek. In fact, some days it's just being weak. We need a team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Have to have ball possession cause possession is our obsession. Our team needs to keep the ball, otherwise we are set for a fall. 2026 is almost here, don't want it to be a nightmare. I need my team to play possession to ensure good ball progression. Most teams play possession cause possession is their obsession. If you haven't had your passport yet, as the quota not being met. It's a different version, people. We need you on board in real time, so get your papers. So see people in that section there, I change it. If you haven't got your passport yet, I forgot what I had there, but I changed it to has the quota been met. It was a different thing that I had there. So this is the previous version I had. This is not the latest version. Join the line. We need you to play possession to ensure good ball progression. We want players who play possession cause possession is our obsession. You need possession to compete. Otherwise, the team will feel the heat. Fans don't want a long ball game because that style of play is very. So I also change this song there. I change it from you need position to compete. I change it to you keep referring to 98 as if achieved just by faith. So I have to walk on through the words, because me love the words them. Me love the words them. So when I go to the song and I played it first, I change the words as I go along to make it more relevant to the current situation. Very lame. We need the team to have possession to ensure good ball progression. We need the team to have possession because possession is our obsession. Work on the team style of play. Do so now without delay. Need to get the ball on the ground. Don't have time to mess around. And that one I changed. So I changed it to fans don't want a long ball game because that style of play is very lame. So that's the song in general, which is I change the number of words I go along to make it more relevant in terms of some things that I'm complaining about, which is kick and hoop football. If 1998, we all talk about that, but we didn't get to achieve 98 by faith. We actually have a strategy, which Simone's had, right? I don't want 2026 to be a nightmare because given where we are playing, it could be if we don't make World Cup. So see, people, the song had thought to it. So I explained to her the song. The song have thought to it. So yeah, I like writing. And by the way, people, my next project. Tell me, I don't guess what my next project gonna be. Tell me my next project will be. I write another song, people. And I think about do it in the next 3 or so weeks. Tell me what the project gonna be. What song you write about? Cause I need a song, people. And I say you're not go pretty, I don't guess what the next song will be about. Cause so no years are burning, kind of like man can't DJ and come and play them thing all the time. But the beat sound good. I have to go buy the beat. I'm gonna buy a beat. I have to do enough searching for beat. What you call it? Beat Star and search for rhythm, buy it, and then come. Umza say, please don't do it anymore. Umza, me have one more to go. Umza, me have to buy it. Me have to do another song. Not that this song, but I would probably say it may have this element to it. Now I have not this element to it. It's gonna be a song which is trying to come up with something. But it's like past people that voted for him. Speaking like me. No. I'm not gonna do that. But you're close TikTok. I'm gonna do a song with the JFF people. Nothing me do a song with the JFF. Me I do a song with the JFF. So you can't be in this YouTube space forever. So tell me, you know what? We decide. Should I do a song with the JFF people? Tell me. I do a song. I think we'll do a song with the JFF. We think they need that song. I don't think so. That was a reggae boy song in a bar possession now. So tell me if you think the JFF need that song. If you have a song for the JFF. I think about it, people. I've been thinking about it. So they need that song. Santini, I'm not scared of Santini. I don't know me I do Santini. I'm amateur in a Santini. I'm amateur. I have a deep voice, So I have a deep voice, so hey people, if there's any musician out there who wanna teach me how to DJ, I have time, people. Me have enough time. So me take the lessons. Because I want to learn how to DJ, Here's my philosophy in life, people. If you have fun with your life, can't live no boring life. Me go on a comedy show last night. The guy was brilliant. I think his heritage probably Nigerian. Just his thought process on him link the comedy. Or you have to figure out what he must say. And when you get the joke, if you're slow, you can't get it real quick. So you have to fast when you think if you get the joke. It was a really good, it was placed in, it wasn't even New York, it was in Park Slope. I forgot the name of the location. It's at 5th Avenue and Union. Really, really good. I totally enjoyed the comedy. There were 3 comedians, 2 guys and a lady. The lady need work. She need enough work. She will go back, she will try another profession. But the 2 youth, them, one start off slow, him catch up the other one. And comedians, to be up on stage and talking like that, and I take enough. You can't shame, because you may bomb, you can't shame. Okay, Santini, me try work on it. But Santini, if you're a DJ and you're coaching, me need a coach, Because I want the thing to come across good. Me feel I can't write. I may be wrong, but me feel I can't write. I can't just write something. But me feel it can make sense. I'm going to use real life situation to inform the song, the word, the song, the words of the song. See? So, TikTok. Try to be unpredictable, TikTok. TikTok, try to be unpredictable. So that means I was not TikTok. Try to be unpredictable, TikTok. We appreciate the intellect TikTok, but you can't say TikTok. You see TikTok? So we must say song about 9. Like make a song about what do you mean about 9? Oh. We can't do that to the youth them, man. We can't do that to the youth them. No, I don't for them fault. But you never know the people. So may drop that would have to be a song that has comedy in it, along with some seriousness in it. Just off the top of my head, it have to be a song. You know what? So me I think about JFF when I say 9. No, 9 song are hard, people. 9 song would have beat people. 9 song a beat song. 9 song about beat song and being facetious. And I don't know if I want to beat you them because I don't feel them fault. I can't do that. I can't beat you them. I don't feel them fault where them get 9. So if I do something about 9, I talk about the players them. And I don't want to do that, man. But some people shouldn't do a song about the JFF. I probably good song, people. It wouldn't be beating them alone, but some beating have to go on. It wouldn't be like a Drake versus when the thing. It would be more of it'd be a combination song. Some pointing out certain things and some realities. And quota would have to be in it. I don't know that. Quota have to be in it. Quota have to be in any song about JFF. You can't do a JFF song without quota. But it was only because the playback of my voice was messed. I will send my file. Look, Jason Guna. Here's a deal with the Jason Guna. If you redo the song and it drop well, then you may come a class. But me can't come a class with somebody who people tell me say didn't beat me. Me can't go a class with my student. Me can't do that. Me talk lower. Me can't come a class with a student. Me have to come a class with a teacher. So if you send it back to me in a way where me say, boy, yeah man, it's wicked. Me come a class tomorrow because me want to learn for DJ now. Me want to learn for DJ because a fun thing. I mean, I think there's no time limit on DJ, no age limit on DJ. Me have fun. Them channel things supposed to be fun. We're supposed to come and thing here, serious, fun. Give it a hard time in a professional way. Enjoy each other's company. Relate to each other. That's what I try to do. Use the 347 number. So me get the number, Santini, because I need enough. People. If on YouTube I get help, If people don't watch people, say me get the real help. Hey, people don't watch people, don't watch, If me get real help in that DJ thing, me say me can't find the see number the Santini run across the screen, the 347 number Santini. Say I can't reach me with that number there. Santini may realize that I'm not a student who can be helped. I cannot be helped, but that's a theme to find out. So yeah. So Santini, you can text me, Santini, if you can't help me. Well, I'm tell you, I want to drop some song on Santini. I want to drop some song. Jason good. That's an unfair comment. VMAX. Unfair because VMAX, Jason and I had how do I call it? We call it a competition. He DJ'd, I played mine. People voted and said, I won. If I beat you in a DJ, that means you need enough work. Need enough work. Yeah, him say me, okay, people. So do you agree with DJ? Me not agree with Guna. Say, boy, my timing on the song was wrong. I don't think my timing was wrong. People, it may not be good delivery. Okay. Where you get this, people? The delivery may not be good, but I think my timing is off. Listen to this, people. Is my timing off? No, tell me the truth. Need that team to... No. I play back. I go back. People tell me my timing off. Seriously. Someone will run from the channel. Tell me my timing off. I not agree with Jason, so I miss the beat. I not agree with Jason, so I miss the beat at all. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. That's the beat, See if I dip on a beat then. Reggae boys, now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponent feel. But you have to have ball possession to ensure good ball progression. Need a coach who plays possession cause possession is our obsession. So people, am I offbeat on that? It sounds, maybe my ears are not good when it comes to that. I think I'm on beat. Now the delivery, I think the chorus is okay. The delivery on the rest of the song, part of the song outside the chorus needs some work, right? But I don't think I'm offbeat on that. Unless my hearing, like think about Jamaican, eat up me age them. I don't think I'm off on the beat. I think my delivery on the outside the chorus, I like the chorus, needs some work. Oh my, I'm not riding the rhythm. I'm to the rhythm, it brought down. Me ride the rhythm, what you talk about? We built a team from far and wide, but them playing like a pickup side. Need to change that style of play. Next coach, do you hear what I say? I need my team to play possession. Go ahead. I think I'm riding the rhythm. Okay, people, so then we need some work. Yeah, I need to understand what that means to misriding the rhythm. No, sometimes, Jason, sometimes when you're DJing, you try to, so, I use your natural voice, right? You try to use something you think will resonate. You just natural voice, because then it's a little bit challenging to do. And sometimes you run out of breath, I don't know Busta Rhymes do it, I tell you the truth. Especially the first part of the song. You run out of breath, you try to catch yourself. And we have recorded yourself, you can go drink water and come back. I've known if you splice it, because sometimes I do it, I want to splice it, I don't know if you splice it, because I don't know if you use the tools them, so. Anyway, so tonight I'm getting lessons. People, the numbers on the screen. If you're a DJ, you're an artist, you know how to DJ. You think Kranky can improve with his DJing? Cause I do write more songs than people. Me there, I have a channel. Uncensored all wild people. May I tell you the truth? Cause we all do them thing about uncensored. It's a sports channel. I'm shooting deep on this. Uncensored. Now no barriers. Now no boundaries. Now no subject where you can't explore. It's a different thing that. So the people are saying, I don't ride the rhythm right. I think I'm writing it right. I understand what you guys are saying. In fact, I don't understand what you guys are saying, so I should change that. So the voice don't match. So is that the voice need to be, do I need to speed up or slow down? What is it? What do you mean if I say Busta Rhymes remix? What are you talking about? You gonna like people don't know nothing about. Why I don't have people in some box? I don't have me in a box, Take me to the box, take me in the girl. Me not right now so about YouTubers. Okay, me write something about YouTubers, I will never come back. I will never be able to come back in this space. If me write something about YouTuber people, then ban me from YouTube, may I tell you. Especially Jamaica YouTuber, then I ban me. But if me speed up the voice, Megatron, it not all upon tune, may I tell you. Especially the song is written. I don't understand how you speed up and get on rhythm. I thought it was the opposite, actually. No, I'm reading the lyrics. I know the song, May I read the lyrics? Yes. I am reading the lyrics. You're right about that. You know what? Maybe I should just learn the lyrics. I've never spent no time learning the lyrics, Me write it down, change it. So you're saying if I don't read it, maybe better. Okay. I hear what you're saying. Hey, Omar, you know them thing at work, Omar. We didn't know, Omar. We the on the channel to have fun, Omar. We are talk a discussion we have now. We are talk about anything. This evening was a impromptu session where it's Mystic Put Night, it's a special edition. This is not a regular Kranky live thing, It was a special one just to talk about the under 20. We've been on here for 3 hours and 44 minutes, my longest time ever on my channel, because I normally just do over 2 hours. I think when I do 3. So yeah, I'm in a session being taught about how to DJ. So yeah, we must have diss me now. He must say Kranky. We must interpret you say Kranky not good and he might do music. Make anybody can do music. That you say no, we must. Then you say, I don't say you say. That you say no. I say Kranky not good, you don't know why he do. He must say he do music, so me can do it. You know, go on. You're freestyling, go on like how Jesse gonna say no until him do it. You know what, people? Since you not said anything there. We Max, Omar, Omzo, Megatron, me a challenge to a DJ competition. Me a challenge all out to a DJ competition. You hear me? We Max, Megatron, Omar, come from behind the keyboard and prove nothing. Since you say a big time DJ, we all do it on the fly. You use the same words when me use, because the words them hard. But me a challenge, you know. You hear me I say? Me wanting to come on, me drop the link for the come on at some point. Next time you have a show, we'll do a show just on this. I'm going to go into the words. I'm going to give Jason the words, you know. It wasn't as easy as him think. So me a challenge, you know. Omzo, Megatron, Omar, Max. No, we're not no freestyle. We're not freestyle thing. Me have to have structure. And you see, I see under 20 play freestyle and what them get 9. You know, a freestyle game. Then play freestyle football and get 9. What they call freestyle flexible football and get 9 love. Me know that style. Me have to have structure. I have to know my words. Never practice my words. I have to know say it flow in my own mind because I say me not rhythm. No. Exactly. And the words have to make sense. What do you mean you write your own words? No, man, if you use the words that me have, then if you write your words, okay, Jason, write your words and give it to me, and me will then do my thing. No, the words have to flow. The words have to flow. That's why you may say I'm offbeat a little bit. I don't think I was offbeat that much, but maybe you're right. But no, the words have to flow, people. Have to flow. The words have to make sense. The main thing to me about the music is the words, you know. Because I made sure almost every single verse or paragraph in that whole thing, all the people who watch Jamaica football, and most of them who follow football on a regular basis, can relate to. Whether it's 98, whether it's 2026, whether it's they need to play ball possession, whether it's giving the players them credit for them skill set, whether it's how we go select players, we go far and wide to get them, and some of them play like a corner league, them play like a pickup side. So all the words I'm saying has to connect, make sense, link. Otherwise, you know, it not gonna work. Right? So yeah, see me a joke with Max. See Max, see I'm a joke with Max. See me I talk about Max. Max me up, hey, Max. You see when the debate come with Max, me I warn you, me I warn you, Max. It's all right. You go on, me I warn you. No, if I do reggae music, and me only use many 90s beats, can me go out and buy the beat them. Even though them have so much restrict on the beat where you can't do the beat them, but you can use it on streaming. I buy the beat them. So at the end of the day, Remax. Hey Remax, anytime, any place, we're ready for you. Cause yeah, talk about say, anybody can go. You basically say anybody can go DJ now, cause me not good. And I will admit, I don't think I say me not good because I'm not a footballer. I would use a better term. I would say I need enhancement to my DJing capabilities and skills, and that the future seems bright for me as a DJ. That's all I say. I'm gonna close up by asking the question. I hear Jay Shy with a good song. Go on. Hey, people. Hey, people, no, look out, no, look out, people. Look out. Look out, man. Say, hey, Santini, I'm looking forward to the help. Because I do. The help is needed. And by the way, people, if anybody is an expert on Logic Pro and GarageBand, can we go up on YouTube for learning things about me? Not no patience. I tell you the truth. Me not no patience. Me do Logic. Me have to call Apple yesterday about some. Try to come up with a different beat. Me I try DJ a song on. I was trying to DJ another song on Logic Pro with another beat. I mean, never. Me have problems, so me have to call Apple. They help me out. So yeah, me need help. But anyway, people, I've talked long enough. I'm peckish. I need to digest some fuel. My anatomy fuel. So I appreciate it. First of all, people, thanks for being here with me almost 4 hours. I had no idea it was gonna be on this long. I expect to come on for about an hour. You make this fun. You make this enjoyable. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Please join me tomorrow. I will be doing. I'm hoping to do 2 shows. It may just be 1 show, but I'm hoping to do I'm going to do uncensored views, which is my new channel, talking about a lot of different stuff, especially since, unlike Jamaica football and the people where it's saturated now and where you only have so much data to inform your view and talk about. So when you come to the open channel, you don't need nothing except talk about Trump. How much people want to talk about Trump out there? You can't talk about Trump 24/7. So That'll be part of my whole spiel when I do Uncensored, but it just won't be about Trump, but a lot of different things. So anyway, people, I'm going to say good night. I won't give you any music to go out. I'm just going to close the channel down. I'm now playing my music because I already burst your eardrum with all the music. I'm now play Kranky Live tonight. I'm just going to say good night. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Godspeed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bless up.